Heidi ho, neighbors. My name is Lewis Lee from All Ends Media and host of Playing in Traffic, which we are playing in traffic at the moment. We got Ray coming in from the chat. We got Chassis John rolling with us.
There he goes.
Fellas, what's going on?
Hello, man.
What's up?
You are.
Another hot Thursday night.
Yeah. Listen, I was on a podcast with Mike Linus.
I saw you.
Yeah, this was Sunday night.
Yeah, I was watching you.
And, I was getting ready to get off. I'm like, I got to go to work in the morning, so I'm going to go ahead and get off. And then we started talking about SEMA. And I was like, wait a minute. I should be at SEMA right now. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm on vacation. So this whole week I'm on vacation. I almost went to work Monday.
Oh, jeez. That's hilarious.
Man, I would have been hot if I'd have got up at 5 in the morning to go to work.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, so luckily somebody, it clicked in my head that I was off.
Yeah.
He had a lot of people on that video chat.
Yeah, well, what it is earlier this year he had a whole bunch of people on when the COVID hit. So it was probably like 25 or 30 then. And this week, this Sunday, it was supposed to be 40, but a lot of people didn't show up. But that's part of the gig. But
well, I signed up for the the notifications on it, but I didn't know anything about how to get in. I was just watching.
Yeah, I'm gonna have one here. I'm gonna try to get a lot of the previous guests. So we're probably gonna have to do it on Blue Jeans because I think you can get like a whole bunch of people on at once.
That's cool. I saw Lou was there for a while.
Yeah, yep.
But he looked bored, and all of a sudden he was gone.
Yeah. Tori was there.
Tori was there. I heard him talking. Yeah. A lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people jumped in.
Quite a few people that we've had too.
Yeah, Sarah Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, he steals a lot of my guests. I ain't gonna say he steals them. But,
That's cool. That's good. It's all good people.
Yeah, it's the community. I mean, it's all the people that we know or follow. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just happened to see a notification, and I clicked, and I'm like, oh, look at this. It was everybody there.
It was nice how you put it together. I just wish people, like, everybody had a schedule to come on at a certain time.
It didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. So I felt bad for him. Because he worked hard to get it all put together. So
yeah, there was a couple of people there that I think they said they were like sitting there for like an hour and a half or something.
Yeah,
2 hours.
yeah. Terry was there almost the whole time, and he didn't even get him on.
Wow.
Yeah. So I jumped out about it's probably 10 o'clock. I jumped out.
Yeah, I watched it for a while, then I signed up. So if it happens again, I'll be able to watch.
Yeah, I had to mess with Mike Cotton a little bit. Yeah, I text him all the time. Like I'll see something that he posts or something, I'll call him or text him. He never calls me back. So we were both on the screen at the same time. I was like, hey, I'd like to give you a hug, buddy, because you don't like to call nobody back.
Speaking of that, on that vein, I want to remind you and Terry this week remember we spoke about Chris Fix last week. I brought him up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, he still hasn't, he makes a point of saying how he replies to everybody. But he didn't reply to me. It's like, I don't know what it is. People, some people hear like radio show and they just, he's a media guy though. So I understand when some people back off and they go like, deer in the headlight. But not a guy like him. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, maybe it like Mike said that every time I text him, he's like in the middle of something major, so he never gets back to me because he's in the middle of something. So I understand that.
And there's sometimes where I'm doing stuff and and then I get a text, I can't answer it right that minute. I'm usually pretty good about it, but you just can't. You can't. Maybe I'm driving, or I'm doing something else, and then I get to where I'm going. This just happened this morning. I got to where I was going in the morning, and I forgot that I got the text while I was driving. It wasn't until I got home, like 4 hours later, that oh shit, I never replied to Neil. So the answer, it's like 4 hours later. But that's in that world, that's life. Stuff happens.
You need to have that program like I have in my new truck.
Yeah, well, I don't have anything. I don't have a new vehicle, so
Yeah, we don't have 80 grand to spend on a truck.
yeah, I'm not in the new world like that. So and
My,
that's okay.
my buddy Steve Johnson last night bought an F-250, I think platinum or something like that. Some crazy, loaded. I mean, with everything. So,
It is getting crazy.
I bet you that was all $80,000 or more.
Yeah, sure.
Man,
You know?
I could buy 2 houses around here for 80,000.
I mean, I know
And
over
the
here.
funny part is he traded in a 3-year-old F-250 with 120,000 miles on it.
Yeah, I
So
mean, they're leasing here. They're
He's
leasing
living high, man. He's moving from one end.
the
to
Dodge
other.
Rams, man. They're leasing those things for like under $200 a month. It's like ridiculous. They're just throwing them out the door. And I'll tell you something. I worked on one. It had 14,000 miles on it. A year old. The guy doesn't drive it. Sits in front of his house, and he had a dragging brake. A rear caliper was dragging. So I took it apart. I took all the wheels apart just to check. And I'll tell you something. You talk about minimum tolerance for brake pin lubricant. They really. I mean, it was the minimum of time. In fact, and then I have this. Where is it? Yeah, I got a scar right here. That's Chinese. That was from working the caliper bolt, and it just like it let go quick, and pinched my arm between like the caliper and the bracket on the rear. So I think it was over tightened, under lubricated, and they're throwing them out the door for under $200 a month. It's just like get them on the street.
Yeah.
Just
That's
This
crazy.
girl talking about $300,000 houses.
That's a lot of cash.
Well, mine's worth way more than that here.
Well, listen, I went to Terry's in New York, and he was saying that the houses in his neighborhood were going for $400, $450, right? And his neighborhood was just like my neighborhood, and ours are 70, 80,000.
Yeah,
Really?
Same style houses, neighborhood.
Yeah.
Depends
a lot
on
of
the
people.
area.
Yeah, a lot of people live here in the Youngstown area because we're in the middle of Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and they commute.
Convenient.
Because it'll double the price if you live in Cleveland or Pittsburgh, so they live here and commute.
right.
Well, a lot of it's all like they say location.
Mhm.
The house I grew up in that my mom still lives in, my dad bought that house in '66 for $29,900,
yeah,
which was considered expensive. It's 5-bedroom high ranch on a half an acre.
right.
Right now, it's worth $1.6 million.
Yeah,
Is that crazy?
But she pays like I think it's like $18,000 or $19,000 a year in property taxes too. And I'm like, is it worth it? Sell it.
Listen,
Sell
listen,
it.
I'm just a couple grand under her, man. I'm just a tick under that.
listen. I pay $700 a year.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I
great.
wish I
$700 a
paid
year.
$1,200 a year. I pay more than that, but it's what we pay is real reasonable. I mean, I think I'm up to it's the highest it's ever been. It's like $1,800 a year.
Yeah,
You know?
ain't bad. Yeah, there's some places.
Complaining.
There's some places in our area around there, 1,800 a year.
See, here on Long Island, it's the school tax is more
Yeah.
than property tax. But truthfully, I moved to the neighborhood I'm in because I knew we were going to have kids and I wanted them to go to a good school. We lived in Queens before this for a couple of years, and I would always bring the kids. We drive out there because my mother-in-law's out there still, and I would drive past the grade school and say, "Hey, you see, girls, this is where you could have gone. You would have gone to school if we were living here." And they're like, "There's no grass in the playground. It's all like asphalt. How come there's such a high fence?" My older goes, "Why do the windows have bars on them?"
God.
Concrete jungle.
Because that's
where I grew up, I walked. They bust the kids in kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. You got bussed in.
yeah.
Where I live, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, I walked
Oh, I did too.
to the elementary school, and then I walked to the middle school, and then later on drove to the high school. But where I was, Elwood School District, real centrally located for all of those schools, was unbelievable. You know, you just walk to school, walk home, nobody bothered you, but you know,
Right.
Yeah.
it was the 60s and the 70s.
Tell you how. Right. I'll tell you how this comes back around. My buddy of mine just called me tonight, and he still lives in the town that I grew up in, and he grew up there too. He's 5 years younger than we are, but he's telling me about this Camry, an old woman, 95 years old, in the neighborhood. He's taking care of her, and he may be buying the car for his son. It's a 2000 with like 30,000 miles on it. I'm like, yeah, those cars are great. If you don't take it, I will. We'll flip it. So it ends up he's talking to me some more, and he says, yeah, you know, I was just talking to her daughter. I'm gonna call her again, and you know, when I get back, when I talk to Daria again, I'll, you know, blah blah blah. And I said, wait a minute. I said, have these people been in town for a long time? He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, their last name is Leonetti. He's like, yeah. How do you know that? I'm like, I went to grade school with a Daria Leonetti. I said, I've never met another girl named Daria. It's like Ursula or like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like there's certain names, you know, Giselle, like you're only going to meet one in your life. I said, I was in grade school with her. So after our call, he gets back to her and tells her this, and it floored her, like, oh my God, yeah, I remember him from like, yeah, we were in like literally grade school together. So yeah, it just must be old home night. I don't know.
Small world.
They do the big elections at my elementary school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. One of my buddies posted that he was, you know, that he had voted there, and I'm like, doesn't it feel weird when you walk in that place? He goes, yeah. He goes, and the chairs are so small. He goes, I couldn't put one cheek on the whole chair.
Right.
He goes, and I used to fit in those things real comfortable when I was a little brat.
Sure.
You know, it's so odd.
Sure.
To see everything. He says everything looks so small.
Right. Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah, and I actually went. I came out when we moved out here. I was in first grade, and the school, that elementary school, was under construction. So I went to a different elementary school for first grade, and then second grade. They have there's a cornerstone with the date of when they you know, did it, and it's hollow, and I was one of the kids that got to put something in there.
Oh, time capsule. Yeah.
And I put a 124 scale Lotus slot car, you know, in that Lotus green.
Yeah.
Wrapped it up in a bag, a paper bag, because you didn't have like crazy Ziplocs back then in the 60s.
Right.
And they still have not opened up that time capsule.
Okay.
I reached out to the school district, and I was, are you guys ever going to like open up that time capsule? And, you know, I have something in there. I was just wondering if it's still alive or not. You know?
Yeah. You know, most of Long Island, I know around here, I look at the cornerstones all the time, and the majority of them are like between 58 and 62. It's like that must have been like, you know, baby boomers. That was the boom where they were just building schools everywhere.
I'm pretty sure. I think 62 was the year that they did that school.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very common on the whole island, really.
Yep. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And then my high school, I think that was, I'm trying to think. When did John Glenn go up?
69.
Was it 9? That was the Moonland. I think it was 9.
So no, maybe
they
probably had other shots in 69. Yeah.
60, 61 maybe?
Probably.
I don't know. My high school's named after him. He never came for a visit, though.
Yeah, Glenn was probably earlier.
Yeah.
Hey, we have one
of the early ones.
We have a major celebrity getting ready to come on screen in a minute.
Oh, yeah?
He was
made it?
Yeah, he was on Summit Racing.
Yeah,
there he is.
Woo-hoo.
Summit Racing God.
Cat's tail. Man.
Hey, did everybody see him on Summit Racing on their podcast? Oh man, Terry's the man.
It was 3:00 in the afternoon. That was the problem.
He doesn't announce stuff.
No, he did.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
did.
he sent it out.
Because I saw it on Instagram. Yeah, and then he tagged the website, but it was like 3 in
I
the
don't go
afternoon.
on that stuff.
You should.
Yeah,
John, I'm going to give you a personal call.
See, that's what you should do. Send me a text message and say, "Yo, brother,
Yeah,
I'm going live."
For now
Hey,
on.
that was a great interview, man. Great,
I got
great.
the iPhone and I got
You got
the
the
Apple CarPlay. I could listen to you.
It was very cool. Those guys, what's called Brian, David, and Alan, they're just really sweet guys, and they're car guys. They're real true car guys. Them guys, they know their stuff, and you can't stump them. And it was just a great opportunity. And they asked me, and I was like, oh, I'm all for it. And so you might start seeing some more videos from the garage shop featuring some Summit parts.
Cool.
Awesome.
I'd like to get him on here too. I meant to reach out to him.
We
Now
all
you,
need
now you got the hook for when you're building stuff.
we all need open accounts is what we need. Yeah.
Open it.
Tell them
Yeah.
you want the ATEC account.
Well, I ain't got it like that. So, but if ever I do, I got you guys in mind. But no, it was a real good opportunity, to be, like along with. I mean, who went on before me? Kevin Tetz and Ian Johnson, and then after me, Cletus McFarland. So to be in that,
I like Cletus.
Cletus is the man. I like Cletus.
Yeah.
He's kind of local here. He's a good dude.
He did what I did, and he just did it to the extreme, which God bless him. God bless him.
He's got a good story. He used to swing a camera for like that online drag racing video stuff. What was it, 1320 video or something like that?
1320, yep.
Yeah. And then he took off.
Yeah.
My buddy Evan says that Cletus was going to law school to become a lawyer, and he started getting money out of YouTube, and it was like, here's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So he could have been a lawyer.
Everyone. I think Bogey got her law degree, doesn't she?
I don't know.
I think she said she was a lawyer. She went to school when she was on here.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Bogey, she got a law degree. I was supposed to be a weatherman.
You make a good weatherman.
That's why I spent my 4 years in college, weatherman and TV production. That's it.
I was supposed to be a thug.
You thug.
I was supposed to be a thug, but I found my wife, and she turned me another way.
Well, at least you kept the look.
Yeah. Wait.
Oh, there it is.
Nice.
She made me straighten my head out.
I went to college for radio and television, broadcast and production too.
Yeah. I had a radio show and everything. I was telling Ray about that when I was on his show.
Yeah. I had a radio show, but it was closed circuit. It was at Suffolk Community College.
So basically, like what you're saying is, all of us here, we might as well have just gone and got degrees in dead languages, and we would have been in the same place.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what turned me off? Speaking to my professor in television production, when I got into it, I wanted to be like a cameraman on the Tonight Show or something. And then I got that rude awakening from my professor. Oh, well, that kind of stuff, it's union.
Yeah.
And it gets passed down from father to son to nephew. He says, if you're going to bust into that world, he said, you're going to have to start off at like KORN in Nebraska. He said, and work your way to the east or the west coast. He goes, so plan on putting in 25 years of being a nobody, doing electronic news gathering or working in a tiny little studio, at a UHF station before you end up working at a network.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
splicing the tape all over and everything, splicing it.
yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be a car guy. And that was the end of that story.
UHF.
Right.
He was dead serious.
That's what they told me. I'm going to have to start from toilet. I was
Because
like,
this isn't the, you're talking before laptop. I went to college in the 76, 77, 78. You know, that's supposed like before laptops existed or any of that stuff.
We had punch cards back then.
They didn't have digital boards.
No. Hey, we had an analog board in the studio that I'm in until only about 5-6 years ago. But you know what? The analog board sound, it's like anything else. The analog sounds a little different than the digital. I mean, you can do more with the digital, but the analog has a different sound to it.
But like even doing stuff for radio, you had to make commercials. You had to do the voiceover, sell a product, the whole deal. And then you had to edit that tape. And there you were with that aluminum bar with a razor blade. And
the razor blade on like a 45-degree.
Cutting the tape at a 45 and gluing it. They didn't have electronic editing then.
No.
None of that stuff.
They had like a recording room, like a small room where you did your little recording, like from Pillsbury, like if you like doughy dough, and then you would go and put it on your little cart and then stick it in like in a commercial. Right?
Yeah.
Well, they still right. You still use carts at the radio station, right?
No. Now they went digital. They do. I got some small ones over here. The real big carts went away years ago. Then they went to like loaded CDs that load into a cartridge.
No, I thought I saw a cart machine when I was there.
We might have an old one there, but now we have direct load CDs, and then everything is on the computer, so you can literally bring up your files. Right, that's how everybody's doing their shows, the music shows, remotely. Because like when I do the show here, one of my monitors is it emulates that monitor that's in the studio. I log into TeamViewer, and I can see it, and I can just grab anything off of there. But yeah, that's how they're doing music shows.
Well, I was, besides playing drums, starting in like the end of elementary school, beginning of middle school. My dad was an audiologist, and he had set up downstairs a complete office with a testing booth.
Uh-huh.
And he was, he had to have some like high-end electronics and stuff like that. So I grew up with Macintosh amplifiers.
Wow.
And, really good speakers. He had, for a while, he had a couple of JBL L1000 studio monitors.
Studio monitors. Hey, let me ask you a question, because my co-host Joe just sent me that I sent you guys those videos. What the hell was it? It was the thing for the Zappa preview and the it was what's his name? The guitar guy who did he was showing the Laney head, the amplifier head.
Oh yeah.
And I never heard of Laney, but apparently it was a really popular head back in the day. And Joe just told me he never heard of it. And he's a bass player. I was like, but I did meet a guitar guy he worked for Guitar World in the chiropractor's office, and he says, "Oh yeah, I know about Laney. They were the contemporaries to
Marshall,
and Ampeg.
Ampeg,
those tube heads.
I've heard of Laney.
Cool stuff. Yeah, I didn't know about them. Cool stuff.
Marshall,
awesome.
So
it said like Laney only invented the top of the cabinet, whereas Marshall invented the top and the back. So the Laneys would burn out faster because they didn't have enough air in them. So he says a lot of guys would just unscrew it and take the back off, and then the tubes were exposed. Usually every once in a while a tube got busted, but what are you gonna do? So
have you guys been following Tammy? She's doing her SEMA thing down in her spot.
Well, look at that! I forgot all about that. We were supposed to take a trip, weren't we?
Yeah, everybody broke, man. Just thinking COVID killed everybody's cash flow.
That's true.
But they're working.
Hold on to everything you got if the old geezer gets in. Which happen.
They're working on Mike Finnegan's pickup truck. He has a lowrider pickup.
Uh-huh.
So they're doing the paint. They're sanding it down, doing everything. Putting stripes and all kind of stuff on. It's coming out pretty good. So if you get a chance, go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have classes for pinstriping and all kind of stuff. She has tents set up. It seems like it's going pretty good.
Yeah. How sick are they going to go with the pinstripe on that truck?
I think they're getting a little wild with it.
Yeah.
Yep. From what I've seen, she posted some stuff a little earlier. But they redid the whole truck, the paint.
What color?
It was white, but I think It might be still white with stripes on it. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, they're putting in work though. It's like a team of people working on it.
Do you realize we would still be a SEMA right now?
Yeah.
Yep.
We'd probably be at or not you guys, but me. I'd be at Welder Up at the party.
I'd be with you. I'd be with you.
Yeah, you said that last year. I was like, "Hey Terry, where you at? We're going over."
No, you didn't. You're going to the dub party.
Well, we ended up there too.
Yeah, see, I would have been a Welder Up. You know.
You never know where you end up out there, man.
Next year would be good.
Yeah, I think people are going to be really juiced up next year.
Oh yeah. Well,
I think
missing
next year
you.
will be sick.
COVID will be completely gone because Biden says he's going to get rid of it.
I just saw something on the news now. A guy was saying, "Hey, he goes, what we're not seeing are incidents of the flu." He says, "By now we'd be seeing incidents of that coming into clinics and hospitals." He goes, "We're just not even seeing it." He goes, "And I have to say, it's probably because people are wearing masks." I'm like,
Yeah.
because that's how the flu transmits too. I'm like,
Yeah, that's true.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we be heading.
Oh, look at this.
Convention center.
That sucks. It's no point.
Travolta.
Yeah, he's like, where's everybody at?
That's Vincent
Where's
Vega.
Where's SEMA?
Wow.
I'm not seeing a good picture of this truck, but they're doing work down there, man. There's a whole bunch of artists and stuff down there.
I bet you they got a live stream going or something.
Let's see. They did snowboard or skateboards. The custom pinstripes.
But yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Nice.
So they're doing a whole bunch of
On there.
classes.
Those are three faces on the side.
Was it?
Wow. I think so, right? Is it? You'll know
All right,
better
let
than
me
me because you'll see it.
No,
It's out. Okay.
no, just
There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. I got that schedule for the SEMA 360. They sent me the invite, and there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
West Coast Customs is doing a live stream with like 20 cameras, and they're just switching from camera to camera. There's Foos is doing something. Everybody's doing something.
yeah.
Let's see. I got something here. Where is it? I found this. I got to show you guys. Where is it? I'll find it.
All right, we'll wait.
I had it last week and I forgot. But okay. Is this it?
Papa Squirrel. Hey, we need to chip in a couple bucks to get Papa Squirrel a Wi-Fi extender so he can get better internet.
You need something, an antenna or something.
Yeah, we're gonna do a GoFundMe for Papa Squirrel. Listen, I've been researching.
They're not much
Yeah.
money.
I've been researching these buses that they're building RVs, and they're putting in some mean internet systems in there where you can be off the grid like far and get good reception.
Really? Wow.
So Papa Squirrel, I'll get the information to you. I'll research it for you, get you the information of what they're using. But man, some of these buses, man, you should see them. They're putting some stuff together.
Get a Bluebird bus.
Yeah, that's what they're using. A lot of those, the flat nose Bluebirds.
Yeah.
The thing is, this is what bothered me. They're putting incredible stuff inside. They're making them look like, really nice homes. And then they put a raggedy paint job on it.
So nobody wants to mess with it.
Look, when I get mine done, it's going to be metal flaked and striped, and you know what I mean.
No, you know
Coming
what? I think John's right. That's the old city credo. You take your beater into the city and you park it with the doors open because no one's going to screw at it.
No, I'm coming.
Exactly.
Everybody's
No.
looking for a nice car.
Listen, I'm coming out custom paint from Tammy Tamco. You know what I mean?
Make sure you park it a mile away because, no matter where you park, some asshole always park next to you and open the door in it.
Yeah.
And keep it well insured.
Well, fellas, check this out. In
Okay.
the spirit of SEMA, I found this and I realized, I got to show this tonight.
Look at you.
Papa Squirrel.
Hey, there you go.
Woohoo!
Hey,
Girl right there.
them two are troopers, boy.
They go all over the place.
Yeah,
Last year,
yeah, that was
I gotta
last
send
year.
that to him. Papa Squirrel, send me your text message. I'll send that to you, buddy. You know, I found out. I was like, wait a second, that's Papa Squirrel. What the?
Yeah, man, and Debbie. Yep, good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to 18 kidnap Ray there to get him out there on that plane. Get him out there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, man. Ray, you missing out, man. We have a good time out there. I mean, we have
miss
a
out on a
good
lot.
time. Yeah.
You know,
I'm actually saving a boatload of money this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ain't that the
You're
truth?
just happy because that hunk behind you is going to be gone in a couple of days.
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
he's already here. He's here in Florida.
Okay.
He went and visited his cousin in Daytona, and then he said he was going to spend the night in Orlando. And he's coming here in the morning. And then I got it up on the jack stand so he can climb around underneath it and look at all the beautiful work I did.
That's a good idea.
that's how you gotta do it.
Then we're going to put it on the ground and fire it up and take it around the block and then load it,
See ya.
kick
Nice.
it to the curb. See you later. Bye.
Nice.
You don't have a windshield in it?
Yeah, get up out of here.
There's no windows in this thing. It came like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, well, he's got to tear everything apart. He's got to get the doors right and, do all the body work and paint and everything. So he's got to, nothing's lined up. The fenders are just kind of bolted on. And,
Mhm.
the body's it's a good body, but he's got to do his deal. That's what he does. He's a body guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I get him turned on to Tamco paint too because he needs it.
Oh man. Listen, yeah, we were on that podcast earlier this week, and a lot of people are starting to use their paint, and they're loving it.
Nice.
The guy that's doing my stuff is a Tamco guy. He
Yeah.
just painted. It was this. Tammy called it green lizard skin. I think it may have been a viper or something like a viper, and it just psychotic color green. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. So yeah,
What's nice is
he's Tamco.
what's nice is she'll mix it up the way you want it. Like you give her what you want, and
Yeah.
she'll get you done. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
And
gonna
the cool thing about it is
stuff.
if you make them, if she makes you a custom color, you can keep that recipe. No one else can have. She won't make it for anyone else
That's cool.
if you want it that way. So let's say I have like a special Coverman copper or something like that, which
Yeah.
where if someone's like, "Yo, man, what color is that?" So, "Yo, man, it's proprietary. You can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want anyone else to have that color," she says, nope.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
There's no joke.
you can only with that color.
You can literally say that about anything because when I painted my bike years ago, I did it. It really looked like Nedick's grape soda purple. That was, and people would ask me, "Yo," and it was House of Colors. It was a House of Colors purple, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Yo, what color is that?" I'm like, "Purple." "Oh, what color purple?" "I want to get that far back." I'm like, "It's Nedick's grape soda purple." I said, you got to get the okay from corporate. I said, they'll send you the paint code. And guys are like, "Oh wow, are they hard to get?" "Yeah, I'll send you their information." I know.
Here's the thing though. When you paint something, nobody's going to get the same exact color if they use the same paint.
That's true.
Because
too.
there's a whole bunch of different variables that throw that off.
Primer, what I've called a primer is.
It's code.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, there's prep. There's a whole, there's a lot of, build. It depends if there's a build ratio or whatever.
Only the factory can do that
Yeah,
because they control
right.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure even then there's some slight variances.
Because all it takes is like one drop, one or two different drops. And
Yeah.
The overspray kicks back, it throw the whole color off.
Right.
Anything like that.
But I'll tell you what, I'm getting the itch, man. I want to paint something, dude. I'm taking the wife's blender out in the garage. I think it's about to get sprayed.
Right.
Yeah, we got the what do you call it? The kitchen mate. What is that? KitchenAid.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, it's about to get done up.
Yeah.
I got one in lipstick red.
Oh, really?
Bought for the kid. Yeah, it's badass
Wow.
with the white lettering. Nice.
Tammy sent me some paints to try out to see what I'm gonna put on the car. So I'm gonna do the lowrider stripes and stuff on it.
I'm gonna send her some high quality photos and let her try and come up with the match on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Because the car had candies on it. It was House of Color candy.
speaking of
And
high
let me tell you,
color,
I went to the House of Color display 2 SEMAs in a row. And
Don't do it to yourself.
no,
Don't do it to
it's
yourself.
real hard. It's
Yeah.
real hard. You know, whereas back then,
It was just
being
new.
my body guy, I'm like, okay, let's do, you know, a hot pink, a blue, you know, a purple over a silver base. So it was Corvette silver, like PPG Corvette silver, and then it was House of Color, and then I don't know how much he added and how many coats he did because it was years ago, and unfortunately my buddy passed away. So there I am with photos on my phone that I loaded some high-res photos on the phone, and I went to the booth, and I'm like, okay, this one's got heavier flake in it. This one doesn't. This one's got a kind of pearly look. Everything changed.
And it's not like it goes from the color spectrum across. It's like they're all mixed and jumbled in. You know, like blue, red, green, yellow. You know, if you want to be like light blue, dark blue, medium blue, something like that, you know, that kind of goes with the transition from blue to maybe go to burgundy and then the red into the green or something like that. But no, it's just like a free for all. Can I see that?
Yeah, but the good thing is though, with this project, it's going to be, you know, a standalone new paint job, so you're not going to be really comparing it side by side to the old one. So it can be different, and as long as it evokes that the original theme, you're fine. You know, you'll be good.
Well, I got to be honest. Over the last couple of years, a lot of the stuff that comes out of the factory looks very much like the candy stuff we did back in the 80s.
Yeah, I know.
You know, like there's the blue stripe on the 81 Firebird is very similar to a color from a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah.
That's out, you know, within the last 2 years. It's like, whoa, there's the blue. You know, so it's almost like you could pick stock colors and come up with the same effect.
Yeah.
You know, but I want her to do some nice stuff, so it'll be her deal.
Yeah, she's good. She knows her stuff.
And like I said, my body guy, he loves her paint, man. He said there's nothing better than her clear in the whole world.
I was just going to say that. I put that clear on my bike on parts that I messed up, and now I got to clear the whole bike over because her clear is so much better.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like putting on. It's like putting on a plastic coating.
Yeah, he absolutely swears by her clear, all of her stuff. But.
You know, speaking of the high-res photos, John, my web guy was just asking me the other day. He says, next time you talk to John, tell him we still need that good high-res graphic of his logo.
Oh, the logo? Okay.
Said, well, I'll be seeing him Thursday night. I said, maybe he'll come on with us on Sunday, and we can just tag team him on the air. You know, I don't know.
Okay.
So,
I don't know. If the weather, well, I don't know. There's a storm coming.
Oh, yeah.
Another storm.
Right.
I know Barb's itching to get out on the boat.
Yeah.
You got a boat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you gotta have a boat.
Yeah, right.
It's cool. We keep it at a high and dry marina. So, you know, when we get in the car, I call him on the phone. I'm like, yo, man, put B13 in the water. Gas it up. It's good. You get there, it's floating by the dock. All you gotta do is throw the line, jump in, turn the key, and shoot.
So that's how rich folks live.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, gas it up. I'm coming to get up. I'm gonna fly in on my helicopter.
You pay through the nose for marina gas.
Oh, yeah. Always did. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the non, alcohol methanol gas.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's the good stuff. But they rape you without any Vaseline.
Right.
No
What are you
Vaseline.
gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Right.
Hey, let me tell you something. When I lived on Long Island and kept my boat in the water at the marina, the gas docks on Long Island on the South Shore, I was paying like $5.50 gallons for regular, and that was 14 years ago.
Damn, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, Long Island gas
They know they
prices
got you.
for water are ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, here
That's why everybody's in the gas station.
it's like $3 a gallon.
gallon cans, and they're bringing it to the boat.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
How many gallons does a boat hold?
mine holds 36.
Okay.
A lot of boats have dual tanks. I mean, there's
Yeah.
4
Mine
engines.
holds 36, but it's 150 horse Merc. Let me tell you something. That 36 gallons lasts you quite a while. It's real. That thing sips fuel. It's unreal. It's got a lot of power.
Now the engines are fuel injected and digitally controlled. Like they're not like the old days. It's just like a car.
100%.
And it's not going through no
First
drive
time
train.
I ever took the cover off the engine, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see spark plugs.
The only thing, Terry, is with a boat, the motor is like being on a dyno every time you start it. It's like a water brake. It's so much harder to move water than it is tires.
Really?
Oh,
I don't understand anything about outboard, 4-cycle engines that, the crankshaft runs up and down. It kind of looks like an airplane engine turned on its side.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird. My other boat, when we lived on the island, had a small block Chevy in it. So that was like no problem at all.
Yeah. Well, the Volvo Pentas were using
Yes,
years
that's what
ago.
it was.
Yeah, very popular. But yeah, you think like the old dynos, Terry, used to be water brake dynos. It was a big chamber with like water in a vein, and the motor hooked up to it would turn the shaft and turn the vein and have to move the water. And that's why it was so good at being a dyno, because it was so hard for the motor to move it. So you could really get an accurate representation of horsepower and torque or whatever. So every time you use a boat, that's exactly what you're doing. You're
So
running.
what does a dyno grab now to load the motor?
They have load cells. I mean, of course, then we had
Yeah.
the dynos that were in the floor. The big roller dyno. We still have those. It's just a big drum, a centrifugal drum that's weighted. But they can use a load cell. I mean, even in test labs, we used to use them when you want to do like crush samples or pull samples. It's called a digital load cell, and it's calibrated to X amount of foot-pounds or kilograms per meter or whatever the gradation is that you need. And you can literally just slide it out, slide the other one in, and now you're set to do another test. And then you test either pulling string apart or like trying to pull apart a piece of stainless steel. It's just a different load cell. But the machinery is the same. The cell changes. So that's pretty nice.
You know what I saw that was really cool? I guess it was about maybe 2 weeks ago, a week ago. I was watching an episode of Orange County Choppers,
Oh, wow.
and he's got a machine that takes bar stock and twists it.
Okay.
Mhm.
So like how they do that things with railings and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he used it for, his railing
Yeah,
company.
so
That's how he got started.
Right.
He put round stock and square stock together in that machine, and then they twisted it to make the down forks and to do like a sissy bar.
Yeah.
It like joined both pieces together mechanically in the twist,
I've never seen
and it
that.
was the coolest looking stuff I've ever seen.
I remember when Indian Larry.
Looked like a large lathe.
Right. Yeah, it would have to be.
And it doesn't turn, and a chuck on the other side.
Now you talk about
It
torque.
goes real slow.
Right. Well,
You
torque.
see it start to twist, and I'm like, and it exploded. A piece broke off, and it went flying, and it like put a hole in a window or a door or something.
I remember when Indian Larry was on the build offs, he built a single down tube bike, and he took a piece of, it was like, had to be like 1 and 2 inch square stock steel, and he heated it with a
Right.
rosette torch, and they welded it to a table, and he had like
Uh-huh.
a 6-foot pipe wrench, and they literally by hand did that
Mhm.
and put a twist in that 2-inch bar stock. He says, "Yeah, if you're gonna do this, you got to do it by hand. It's all got to be done, with man muscle." Like, holy crap, man, that's old.
Yeah, he was no joke.
No, that's old school. And then he chromed it. On top of that, he just chromed it. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
Indian
those
Black.
biker build-offs, I miss them, man. They were pretty good.
There were some great shows, man.
Yeah, the Martins, man, they did well too. The Martin brothers.
I mean, there were a couple builders that I didn't know about that really learned to like. I had a lot of respect for them after that, and there were a couple that I really just hated. What the hell's the guy's name? He's out in like, was it Nevada?
Matt Hodge.
No, Hodge. I think.
I liked him. He's like an Indian guy.
Yeah, no. This guy was a white guy. He was kind of tall. He was like 6'4". He was a big dude, and he was a big mouth. He had a big mouth. He kind of reminded me of like Nick Nolte. Kind of looked like Nick Nolte a little bit, and had a loud mouth. But he said they did one little preview on him where he said, "Listen, he grew up. He had a bad childhood. Grew up in a bad area. Then he had like a drug habit. He was at the coke for a long time, and he was he got arrested and turned his life around. He's clean, and now he found that he's building bikes. And I could picture this guy, and I could picture the bikes he builds. I don't like his bikes either. They were very progressive, like with that kind of like the stuff Paul Jr. was doing with those big sloping frames, high backbone, low seat, grasshoppery looking. Very grasshoppery looking. I just can't think of his damn name. Him I didn't like. I just never liked anything he did or any. Just some people just turn you off.
Yeah.
But other guys were very, you say, man, these guys,
Talented. Yeah.
these guys are great.
The Martin
Well,
brothers, they put together a really nice bike too.
He built
Iron Resurrection, it's not on anymore.
Iron
They
Resurrection.
moved.
Okay. I've been
Uh,
seeing reruns
That's
on
the
it.
Martin Brothers.
I've been seeing. I catch all the old ones every day.
No, they're still filming.
I
They're
got-
still filming.
Like
Because-
I haven't seen a new episode in like a year.
No, they're still filming because we were just talking to Shag on the other podcast, and he was saying that they're all going in at certain times to film.
Oh, okay.
Good.
So they're still doing it. He's going to come on the show sometime this month.
Cool.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
great.
a nice guy.
Shag is awesome.
Yeah.
Love Shag.
Shorty too. I talked to Shorty. He's going to come on too.
Cool.
It's a shame Shorty, he had his own thing going on. So like last season he wasn't on anymore.
What was he doing
Yeah.
on his own?
He
Well,
has his
he-
own body shop, and he used to have to travel pretty far to get
Yeah.
to where they
Yeah.
film.
Okay.
Yeah. So he had to get back into his groove.
Yeah. I like
He,
the guy
man.
that throw the firecrackers at.
Yeah.
That dude's funny.
Did you see Shorty's Impala at SEMA?
No.
I know they were
Oh,
doing stuff on
man.
his show about his
Really?
Impala. Yeah.
Listen, his Impala was
Green-
really.
Green one?
He's a 63 guy. He loves the
It's like a
63.
grayish screen. Yeah, it had like
I may have seen it.
It
So
was
he had
over by
Bubble Impala.
the Bubble Impala. It was over by Nelson's.
Or two.
Oh, okay.
It was over on that side row.
Yep. I think I did see that.
Man, that car was nice. Bubble top. Yep.
Yep.
Very cool.
I'm a 65 Impala guy.
I like this
No, you're a 56 Chevy guy.
Yeah.
65.
56.
I had a bunch of 65s. I had a slew of them in a wagon. I even had a 66 Caprice. That was like one of my first cars.
I even like the Hideaway Headlight 70 or 69, 70.
68, 68. They did hidden headlights on all those cars, and they really made that front end look beautiful.
I mean, that's one car I never had. I never had an Impala. I think it's time.
I like those hidden headlights on the Riv.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
That's a 65. That's the clamshell.
Those
I was just going to say that. I just seen one the other day, and I was like, "Wow, that looks sweet."
Yeah.
When they opened up.
Only.
Think about all of the design work that
Yep.
went into these older cars, and
Yep.
they don't do anything like that today.
That was mechanical linkage that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Hideaway head like Chargers. Yeah, all of those cars.
air. Like the 69 Camaro. 69 Camaro, that worked off of air.
A lot of them, a lot of the GMs used vacuum. The GTOs used vacuum, which became a problem, and And a lot
It's the style of the car. I mean, like John said, man, they don't do that crap no more. I mean, it's just a beautiful.
No. Now it's like, boxy, computer designed, and boom, boom, boom. Get 'em in.
Does anyone make a car with hideaway headlights anymore now?
No.
No.
I can't think of one.
No.
Everything now has those LED, daytime driving lights.
Yeah, it's all LED. Yeah.
Which actually I think they're really cool. Like on a big truck like mine, they're massive.
Yeah.
And then if
gotta replace them.
if I flip the switch and turn on the fog lights that are down low, the truck is just looks like something from a movie, coming down the highway in the middle of the day. It's like, whoa.
Right.
So GMC's got that gigantic grill.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of the selling points for me to get that, because the Chevrolet this year, it looks like they put the bumper on the wrong end.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Like the lights are like below the bumper. It's like, I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
really
that's gonna
ugly.
be a rare truck, because what they're going to do is they're going to stop making that after a couple of years.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a sought after truck in about 20 years.
Chevy messed up
ugly.
too around 08. The 08 Chevys were really ugly too. Their lights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I don't know,
Chevys
man.
The GMCs are good looking. The Fords look real good. The Dodges look like, here I am to do my work and just get the F out of my way.
Yeah.
That's what a Dodge looks like, especially if it's got the diesel in it.
Yeah.
They're big and nasty and just, but I don't know. I'm not a Dodge guy because everything is like kind of China to me in a Dodge.
Mhm.
I've never been a Dodge guy. The interiors are like cheap,
It depends on which one. I'll tell you something. The guys at the shop, the father to son, the son leases a Ram, a 1500 Ram. It wasn't a base model, but it wasn't the high level model. It was a lower level trim. And yeah, it's plasticky, not a bad truck. It's, it doesn't vibrate.
good truck.
It's nice. And his father has the top level. It's not is it a Laredo? No, that would be Ford. It's a
Lariat.
It's a Lariat.
No. Is a Lariat a Dodge?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this thing has like on the edges of the seats, all around the seats, it's like a braided leather trim. On the back of the seats, the door panels have braided trim in it. I mean, they went out of their way on this thing. It is really nice. So in the same model truck, you can get pretty much any but other than that, they're identical inside. Other than that,
On mine, there's like 4 different levels of trim.
right.
And it ends in a Denali, which has got like everything, seats that massage your back.
Right. And I just went to a 12-year-old truck that's like it's got a base model and a TRD off-road. That's it. There was like the only 2 models of the thing, and I'm going to be happy with it.
There you go.
But I tell you, I found my seats. I found that back seat. I had to pay $150 for the bottom part of the back seat. And the same yard had a driver's seat. This one's a little beat up. I would have had it recovered, but I was looking at message boards, and nobody can get the original Toyota. It's like, it's not rubbery, but it's like you can hose these seats down. I mean, it's very weather resistant. It's like and it's not like wetsuit, because it's not. That would be stupid. But it's some kind of proprietary material that Toyota used in that truck, and you can't get it. So this guy also had a driver's seat. He wanted $275. I was like, ugh, send it. All right.
Send it.
So now I'll have a good seat. They're coming in tomorrow, in fact.
Yeah.
I decided what I'm doing with my rims. I couldn't find these freaking steel wheels for the life of me. So what I'm going to do is, we're taking the aluminum wheels, sending them out to a wheel guy. He's going to blast them down to nothing, and then we're going to powder coat them. I'm going to powder coat them black, kind of trying to find a black that matches the color of the paint. Like, I don't want super gloss, and I don't want flat. It's got to be somewhere in the middle. And then put the white leather tires on that, and just keep the aluminum wheels. $80 a pop for the wheels. Done.
Can't beat that.
Yeah. So,
Hey,
someone's
has anybody had done dustless blasting?
Oh yeah, I had my deck lid done in Garden City.
Well, can I get that done on my driveway without making a mess?
They, on the TV shows, they bring the trailer with the dustless blast thing on.
Yeah, exactly.
They just do it themselves. But yeah, guys, there's some mobile guys around here. There are.
Oh yeah, there is. I got a number of a guy. I got stuff I got to get blasted.
No, but the reason it's dustless is because it's mixed with water. It's a water base.
Yeah.
And they just reclaim that and then re-separate it. But yeah, sure.
When I got my Chevelle blasted, my
How do they
sister
reclaim it?
blasted, they used a baking soda compound.
Right.
It was really cool because like they did it right in your driveway, right? They did. I took it off on the side of my house, and they did it right there. Blast that car down, right? And it looked like Christmas. It looked like snow.
Yeah.
But it goes, when it rains, this is going away, and it rained that after right as soon as I was pushing the car in, it rained, and it went right away. It was great.
Sure.
He just came out there, blasted the whole car.
Yeah.
Half hour later, it's all snowy. My fro is all white and everything like that. Looking like I just came from, with the 15th commandment, the 10 commandments.
I was thinking more like Scarface.
And then it rained, and it went right away.
Was it expensive? Was it expensive to have the whole car done?
He gave me a break. I mean, but I think he charged like $300.
That's good.
That's very good.
Charges usually charge about 8 or 9 or something like that.
I think I spent $100 to have my deck lid done.
No,
So yeah, it is.
$100.
It's supply and demand. It's whoever's doing it, how many guys are around. So yeah, I spent almost half of that just to have the deck lid done, but it came out real nice.
No, it doesn't warp metal or anything like that.
It doesn't stress or warp the metal. It doesn't heat it up. It's very, very nice.
Yeah. I wish I knew it because you know what it is, because like after I got it blasted, because I wanted to see what I had to work with, I was like, damn it, I gotta go and I gotta replace some panels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just resheet.
It uncovers the ugliness.
Yeah, I was like, let me just sheet. And that's what it is. I bought the car from the guy. The guy wanted $8,000 for it. I wanted to give him for $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm talking him down.
Well, yeah, because he was in a position where he had to get rid of the car.
Nice.
And I said to him, he was like, oh, he had me come. It was out in Long Island. Oh, the car's beautiful. This, that. Walk in. I see like a RS SS Camaro in nice condition and all that. And I'm sitting up here looking at this car, and I knew that I had to redo the quarter panels. I was like, I don't have to redo the quarter panels. And he was just bragging on his son. Yeah, my son did all the welding and all that. I said, your son did the welding? Your son sucks. Just like that. I said, you had me come down here, and you said that this car was going to be pristine. This car is going to be nice. $8,000 you wanted for it, $8,500. And right now, I'm really upset. I'm upset because you had me come all the way down here. This isn't pristine. How could you sit here with a RS 69 Camaro, RS SS 69 Camaro sitting up here in nice condition, and you saying that this is in beautiful condition?
Now that Camaro's got hidden headlights.
It did, yes, it did.
The RS.
I was just like, and I flat out told him. I said, listen, I paid $2,000 for it. I paid $2,000 for the car. I flat out told him. I said, dude, I'm leaving. I'm going to make you an offer. And this is the best I'm going to do because we both know this car is going to have to be sheetskin. I'm only giving you this offer because of what the car is, not what the car, how the car is. And that's the best I can do is $1,500. I'm walking to my car. If I get to my car, there's no calling me back. I'm jumping in and I'm leaving. And right before I got to the car, he was like, all right, yo, come back. Yo, could you make it $2,000? I was just like, only because what the car is. This car's going to be sheetskin. I'm going to do floorboards. I'm going to do a couple of things to this thing. Yeah. I'm going to have to tighten it up. I'm going to have to redo what your son did. So I'm thinking no, but I'm here and I got a trailer. So $2,000 is the best I'm going to eat here. Yeah, I'll give you $2,000.
You tell him I got to do an Archie Bell and the Drells on it.
Yeah. You telling me?
I know. Right?
Tighten it up.
Great song, man. Tighten up on the drums.
I gotta tighten it up, man. A little touch up.
Tighten up on that bass.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my dolly and hammers this week.
Weekend.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll start tapping on the metal out there, see what I can do.
Tap.
Yeah, it's ambitious.
Go to Northern Tool or go to the other place.
Harbor to Freight.
They both. That's where I got mine. I got mine at Northern.
I got mine from Eastwood.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
These
I gotta-
the nice wood handles with the blue. Yeah,
With the blue and the rubber, yeah. Yeah. But you know what I had to do is I had to cut. There's one, I think it was no, it's not shrinker. There's one that had the two-sided with the smaller. I had to cut it off because I had to get in my inside the door and bang it out. But being a Chevelle, I didn't have enough swing on it.
yeah.
And I was like, okay, I had to whiz wheel one end off, and I was able to tap.
Yeah, you need a single-sided hammer.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, the other one, so I was like, let me just do that. Tap. Oh, it works. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But what you also got to do is you got to get some spoons for lining up the door.
Yeah.
So I got to do my roof. I wish I could find a junk car somewhere and get the roof off it, but
Yeah.
you know, it's
Like,
hard to.
It's a hard road.
Yeah. What'd you say, Terry?
Roof skins?
No, they don't make it for the 77. Like the 77 to 79, they didn't make a lot of parts, aftermarket parts.
I like that car.
Yeah, I can't find hardly anything. They don't make hardly anything. Yep.
That's a big car.
Up to 76. You can get anything.
I'm thinking 76. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking 76 cool. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yep.
That was, you know what? Let me see. Because my neighbor had one. And
From 76 down, they have all kind of stuff.
Yeah. Coupe de Ville, was it? Yeah.
Yep.
76. I think it was a 76.
Yep. As soon as it hit 77, that figures that'd be the year I have where they don't make nothing.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Actually,
I think the 76 is probably another foot longer
Wow.
than the 77. It's
What
a
are they
big boy.
21 feet.
Yeah, because my car is 18 feet.
I could have had my uncle's 76. It might have been a sedan. No, I think it was a Coupe de Ville. It was like a chiffon yellow with a white interior. And I went out to Jersey to look at it. He hadn't driven it in years. And I told him I got a pass. I said, first of all, I don't have anywhere long enough to put this thing. And I said, and second of all, you know, I'd like to drive it back to New York, but you know, the brakes got to be gone over. Everything's got to be gone over, and can't do that here. I said, and to trailer it, I'm gonna get stuck for like extra long loads. You know, it's like
Yeah,
a
they're long.
little trailer.
You know, it's weird, but my mom's house back then, they built garages, you know, for the cars that were out at the time.
Yeah,
She had a 72 sedan DeVille. It was like that baby blue metallic with that white floating simulated convertible top on it.
Mhm.
And it had this blue interior that looked like a tablecloth. The, with
Yeah.
like the
Glad.
pattern,
yeah,
the pattern that was in the material was like this embroidery looking. It kind of reminded me of a tablecloth, you know.
yeah. It was almost like it reminded me of like Paisley back then. You know,
Yeah, kind of paisley looking, right? You know,
right.
Well, it's an awesome car, man.
That
So
was high class.
Yeah.
472 with a 4-barrel. That was a car. I took that to the prom. That thing was badass. Lots of cars, huge rear bumper, huge front bumper.
Oh, yeah.
That
You
thing
know what I
was-
seen the other day on Facebook? A guy had a 57 Cadillac, and it was convertible, and it was nice.
The dollar car. It's a big dollar car. Always has been.
Oh yeah,
Always has
because
been.
you don't see them. You know, you
I mean,
don't see them.
I remember back in the 70s and 80s, those were big dollar cars. You know, they've always been expensive. Yeah. Nice.
yeah, that's it right there. That's what my neighbor had.
Yep.
Any way you look at it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That thing was huge.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so my mom's car would fit in the garage, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, look at that.
I had a 65 Coupe de Ville that was nice. It was like a navy blue outside with a navy blue leather interior. And it was great. It was a Road Warrior. And then the next caddy that I bought was an 81 Eldorado. And it was navy blue outside with a navy blue leather interior with a stainless steel roof. It was like the same color combination.
Yeah.
That was a nice car too.
I had a 70 Eldorado, man. That thing was a ship. The
Yeah.
whole The whole front end was longer than the rest of the car.
Oh hell yeah!
That's when they used to build cars.
Yeah.
It was a totally different mindset back then.
You know, I was just watching an episode of Phantom Works yesterday, and he said he had a new guy working for him, and the guy came from the dealership world, younger guy, and they brought in a '63 Caddy that they did the whole car, needed everything taken apart, and this guy's taking the doors apart, all the window mechanisms and all, and he says, yeah, he goes, you know, he was working on new cars. He goes, there's like 3 pieces in the door. He goes, this car's got like 30 pieces. He goes, there's so many. And we were talking about this at the body shop when I was looking to get my windows adjusted. I was talking with one of the guys there, one of the old school body men. He says, yeah, you know, you think about it. There was guys who did this at the factory. And he says, I don't think they did it on the assembly line. They must have built the doors separately and then installed them. So that'd be like a door shop, you know? I'm like, man, I've never met anybody who did that. I've never even heard of anybody who did that. But
and can you imagine those doors? Like, let's take a '67 Chevelle, heavy with all the stuff in it, the window and everything, heavy. That's a heavy door.
Yes, it is.
That's a heavy door for them to even like. All right, just put it together, and it's like, okay, now we're gonna move it to, and then line it up.
They had to have it on. I mean, now they have like the door machines that they can. You know,
Yeah, they got that hydraulic deal.
Right.
Moves everything
So they
around.
probably had something like that back then. You know,
Similar.
I don't know, but yeah, you think all day all you do is building doors. You know?
When I get into the Firebird, build the new doors, because I'm starting out with brand new doors, I'm going to put that bitch on a scale because those second generation doors are like 4 feet long, you know?
Oh yeah, they are very long.
I'm buying that special attachment cradle that you put in your floor jack.
Oh, good, yeah.
You seen that?
Oh yeah,
Let's
yeah.
drop it into the floor jack. It's got 2 arms, and they cradle the door.
Yeah.
So you can just jack the door into place.
You know,
Because you can't lift those doors. They're heavy.
back
I do
in
that with
19,
wood.
Although I have a fiberglass door for the car, which weighs about 4 pounds.
Yeah.
But they're useless because you got to put a plastic window in them.
back in 84, 85, I was driving my 73 Monte Carlo. That car had, 4 or 5 foot door, and the door hinges weren't bad. So I went to Chevy. I was able to buy the hinges new. I come home. I was living in Queens at the time. And after work, I said, okay, no problem. I'll do this. I put my floor jack under the door, loosen the, I got a hinge wrench. It's shaped like an S to get in to get the hinge bolts because you can't get it with a straight ratchet and socket. Get them off, get the door off, change the hinges, go to put it back on, and I couldn't manipulate and do it myself. I had to call a friend of mine who lived up in Flushing at the time. I said, another John, I said, we used to do a lot of car work together. I said, John, what are you doing after dinner? No, another one. Like, you got to come over to help me. I said, I got to put the door back on my car. Why is the door off your car? Changing the hinges. He goes, what are you, stupid? You never do that job alone. I'm like, yeah, I learned that. So it became a late night in the driveway, putting the door on a Monte Carlo. But
And then what you're doing now, you got to line it up.
Take the front fender off.
heavy. Well, no, I had the right wrench and all. So I just needed more hands and muscle is what I needed,
If you take the fender off, you could do one hinge at a time.
I guess. I mean, it's like taking the hood off. You can't take the hood off alone unless you're going to sacrifice your windshield.
It's a lot of people think you don't have that many adjustments, but with those 2 hinges, the body of the car and one on the door, you got this maneuver, you got this, you got the in and the out, and then you got the, you can move it where you want. And then the first thing I do is take the striker out, take the battery out, and take the striker out. That way you can close the door and you can see where it's going to line up instead of having the striker stop or raise it up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Take the striker right out.
Right.
Because you're going to have to line that up. Like you said, you're going to have to line that up as well.
Sure.
But once you get the door all lined up, put the striker in, and if it closes nice, that's it. But then what you also got to do is you got to make sure you have good bushings, because if your bushings are shot.
Well, that's why I had bought brand new hinges, had new bushings, and everything was new in them, so I was in good shape there.
Yeah. And they make a little bushing kit, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's the pin with the bushings. You get the oversized ones if they're egg shaped. In fact, I found in my garage I have a brand new pair of door hinges for that 81 Eldorado with the caddy part stickers on them, from the pick bin. I'm like, I should put those on eBay.
Yeah, should.
Yeah, I gotta do the bushings on my 71 Chevelle. Yeah. It is.
I got
About
to
that time for me. I have to go and log off and I guess get something to eat. I'm starving.
That's an idea.
do 10
I had
o'clock.
hot dogs and beans tonight.
Yeah,
Bad idea.
I had
old school.
I had a nice
High and hard.
Italian stuffed chicken breast.
Whoa.
Yeah, we come to John's house. What's up?
Yeah.
Had the bacon strips over it, stuffed with mozzarella.
Nice.
With
Nice.
moose.
My daughter, we've been going back and forth to the hospital with my mother-in-law. That's why we're not, we can't cook. So my daughter dropped off yesterday a platter, and she made these sandwiches, and it was arugula, gabagool, mozzarella, and something else was in there too on like a brioche roll. She goes, yeah, you could put some oil and vinegar on this, or you could like heat them up. I'm like, wow, that's nice. Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Italian cooking.
Goody.
I had a neighbor in my apartment. He was the landlord. His wife, they were Italian, and they took a liking to me. They used to always feed me. I come in. Terry, she was out there not barbecuing, but on the grill, she had like a pan, like one of those tin pans with olive oil, and she was frying up eggplant.
Sure.
Oh yeah, sure.
Talk about some
Good stuff there.
Yeah.
And she says it's not called manicotti. It's called she's correct. And she says not mozzarella. It's what does she call it? Mozz. Or, what is it called? Like that's what you just said, John. Gabagool. I was like salami.
Gabagool.
You're in New York, man. You gotta know this shit.
I had to learn, and it was like
apparently.
Good, I was like, I learned because I like eating over there. So
We'll teach you. We'll help you out. We'll help you.
I appreciate it. And she says it's not sauce, it's gravy. I'm like,
that's we used to have that argument on the radio show all the time.
That goes back and forth. Depends on where you
I'll
live.
tell you, my Jersey relatives they're all macaroni and gravy, and then I grew up. It's sauce. It was macaroni but sauce. And I'll tell you my thought on this. My mother used to make gravy from drippings, from renderings. So like if she made a roast beef, she would take the renderings, filter it out, get the fat off it, take the juice, and then put some gravy master in it, a little bit of flour, and man, she had the most delicious gravy in the world because it was just a thin gravy. A sauce to me,
Sauce is red, gravy's brown.
well, sauce, you say meat sauce, right? The meat sauce,
Yep.
there's meat in it. So gravy doesn't have meat in it. Gravy goes on the meat. So, and when you make an Italian, red sauce, it's always got meat in it. I mean, we just had it the other night. We got meatballs, we got sausage, we got. You throw some. When I was down in Tennessee, I was talking to a lady down there. I said, what the hell did I tell? Now I just blanked out. But I mean, you can throw anything you want in there, really. But you got meat. It's meat products, and that's the difference. That's how I see it. But
See what you got to do, Terry. You gotta get the barbecue out, right? You go get some nice sausage, and you put it on that barbecue, and you cook it up nice. And then you get the tri-colored peppers, the red, the yellow, the green.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Slice them up. You
Right.
slice up an onion, and you
Onion.
cook it up
Have
on
onion.
the stove, right? And you get a nice fresh loaf of Italian bread, and you put the sausage and the peppers. You slice open the Italian bread, and then you get a lemon, and you squeeze that lemon on there, and you eat.
That's a new twist.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know about that.
I was going to say the only thing, the thing you left out for me is you got to have the garlic. You got to have
Oh, yeah, you gotta put the garlic. That's right.
you gotta have garlic on there,
And do you have to cut it thin so it melts?
Yes.
into the-
and you got
Yeah,
and you
You
got
got
to use
some-
one of these.
you know, you
One
gotta slice
of
it
these,
with
and you slice it so you can
and
see.
you cook those peppers up with olive oil.
Right,
Pepper,
you put it in the
onion.
pan and it just does that.
All right, so you hear this, Lewis Lee. When you come down, guess where we're going to eat?
Yeah, we gotta go
Oh,
to
yeah.
Ray's.
We do it all the time.
You
Yeah,
go to Ray's. You go to Ray's.
all the time. Yeah.
Ray's Kitchen.
You
Yes,
got,
sir.
if you're in New York, you got to find yourself a good Italian pork store.
Yeah.
Go
That's
in there,
right.
they got everything: meatballs, sausages, the whole deal. There's all
Do they have
different.
that down in Florida?
Huh? Oh yeah, they got them here, but you got to travel.
Yeah.
Because around here, they call it Italian food.
Italian.
Is it Italian?
Yeah. Oh, they tell my wife all kinds of stuff. Oh, we were listening to what you were talking about the other day, and we went to Publix and we got that mozzarella cheese and got that Italian cheese from Kraft in the jar.
From Kraft.
Yeah.
No, you gotta go to the ravioli store. They got
Down there.
sauce on the floor. Sauce on the floor. You get your pecorino romano. You get your you take it right. You take your cheese of choice. You grate it yourself on the cheese grater,
Oh yeah.
Parmesan, whatever you like. You know, everybody's got a
You
different.
gotta have that cheese grater that's got that little box in the front
Yeah,
with the handle and the wheel.
that's it. Oh yeah, that's good.
That's awesome.
The magician. You know what I always wanted to know? I never really, when I used to go to Italian restaurants, they used to have, like, I didn't know if it was plastic or if it's real, like the salami hanging down.
No, that's real.
That's
Well,
real.
in a restaurant, it could have been fake. Just
Yeah,
for
in
the
the
ambiance.
restaurant it may be fake. You're right.
Yeah.
But when you go to
like
the
pork
Italian
store.
pork store,
It's real,
they're all hanging.
right?
That's the
And
meat
why
that
is
they're
it-
going to want to
why
put on the
is it-
slice. You tell the guy, yo, give me a Parmigiano salami, and they take that thing down, cut it up in a machine, and you got the provolone, and there's all
That's where you get the gabagool. You get the gabagool, you know. And I
I know
like
you walk in there, it's a real butcher shop. They got the sawdust on the floor.
the one.
Yeah.
Mortadella,
Have that.
you know, mortadella is my favorite. I have mortadella sandwiches at work all the time. You know, it's one of my favorites.
What
That's
about prosciutto?
well, prosciutto. Yeah, see, the mortadella's like it's like a ham with the fuck are those nuts? The not almonds, not pecans, pistachios. There's actually pistachios in there.
I did not know that.
Delicious. I mixed that with ham and some bologna on a sandwich. Beautiful. Forget about it.
I can't lie. I do like the salami where it has the pepper around it, like a pepper skin.
See, that's
yeah,
getting like the gabagool. The gabagool is
Yes.
like they call it some. See, now they call it spiced ham. It's not
Spiced
fucking
ham.
spiced ham. It's gabagool. Come on.
Boar's Head has a good one.
And they don't even know what it is when you ask them. Like, yeah,
Well, you know what? I like the what they call
Want to have a pound of Capicola?
capicoli, right?
Capicola, yes, Cappy, yes.
Ham cappy, they call it. That's right. That's gabagool.
That's it.
That's right. That's
It's
gabagool.
funny.
I used to call it hot ham.
Yeah.
Because it's orange. It's got like an orange, tint to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, hot ham.
capicola. Yeah,
Cappy.
Capicola.
you break.
I'll take a half a pound of Capicola and give me quarter pound of that mozzarella.
Oh, okay, well, let's get it straight right now.
And then my husband, he likes that provolone.
No bologna, no bologna.
Oh, you don't know what I deal with down here.
Yeah,
Well, what is the correct pronunciation of capicola?
we just said it 500 times. It's gabagool.
Gabagool. Okay, good. Yes, that's the one. Okay, because I've heard that before. I thought that was the I thought gabagool was the prosciutto.
No, prosciutto is prosciutto.
Prosciutto is different. Gabagool is round. Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah. So, I guess it's been a while, but I'm gonna straighten it out.
You gotta go to Arthur Avenue.
Oh please! I had sausage from there from a restaurant.
Forget about it. Arthur Avenue is fantastic. That's the last bastion, the last stronghold.
That's when you're ready to get serious.
Yeah.
That's when you're ready to get serious.
Yeah.
That and what's the place? Peter Luger's for steak.
All right.
Peter Luger's is awesome.
But you got to see, around the holidays, I'll make my lasagna and I turn the kitchen into it becomes a factory. It's an Italian, it's a lasagna factory. I got everything cut up. I got all my stations. Everything is ready. And it's like I just assemble it and bang, you throw it in there and you cook it. And you don't eat it that night. You got to, after I bake, You let it sit. I eat it the next day or 2 days later.
That's when it tastes the best because that's when everything soaks in.
It permeates, right?
Yeah, you can't eat lasagna day of. Never.
No.
No, you don't do that.
That's right.
And those tinfoil pans that you make it in, the thing weighs like 12 pounds.
I showed you the pictures. Pictures.
It's like you said, John, that's when the flavor and the juices ferment.
The truth.
It's like Kool-Aid. The next day it's beautiful. Oh, fellas, this has been a sweet sensation. But I gotta get ready.
Hang on a second, because
next time you go to the supermarket, go in the refrigerated section by the meat and look and see if they got Peter Luger's sauce.
Oh no, I get sauce all the time.
Isn't that stuff awesome?
That's my go-to for barbecuing.
Do you understand that that's supposed to be? You're supposed to put that on your lettuce and tomato salad.
I did not know
put it on my hamburgers.
I put that on everything. If I don't have anything like with like,
if you go to the restaurant, Peter Luger's, that's their salad dressing.
Really, they don't cook the steak with that?
You could put it on your steak, but they invented that as a salad dressing.
No, I thought I let that steak marinate in that thing for like a couple of days and throw it on the grill.
I put that on hamburgers. That stuff's awesome.
I love it. That's better than Miracle.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna jump off too, guys.
All right, gentlemen, listen. Have a good night. I'm gonna head on off. Take care.
Right, here you go. You get hungry when you see these pictures. All of you.
Oh my God, John! I'm gonna text you next time something jumps off. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, I'll catch you guys later.
Where is it?
Well, everybody split.
Yeah. There we go. I sent her pictures of my. I sent it to you too.
Yeah, I got it.
That was the year I cut back. I made a 16-pound lasagna one year. I don't have the right picture of it, but
yeah, look at this, 9.5 pounds. Sure.
Yeah, that was like we were taking it easy.
That's awesome. Can't wait. Thanksgiving's coming. Gonna eat good.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be on a diet. Me and Bob were supposed to be on diets.
Yeah.
The whole month, and that never happened.
Oh well.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna do. She's all aggravated over this election.
Yeah, I can't even. I've been trying to avoid even watching TV. Because the news, they're all over it.
They're not cheating. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, you know what? I was in the car tonight. I'm listening to the radio. I'm listening to AM. Listening to Mark Levin, and he was talking about how I don't remember I didn't hear what state it was, but that they were the Dems were counting, and they said they wouldn't let anybody in to officiate, and they had paper over the windows. They like blocked the place. I'm like,
they kicked them out.
Yeah.
And put plywood up on the windows.
There you go. I was like, what the hell is good?
What are you hiding? It's an election. What are you hiding? Okay.
Exactly.
And now my former attorney general, Pam Bondi, she's on the Trump train there. So she's in Philly with another guy.
Yeah.
And they would let both the Democrats and the Republican vote watchers in.
Right.
But they kept them 30 feet away. And they said, well, you could use binoculars if you want.
I heard something about binoculars, yeah.
And then they got a local, I don't know, Pennsylvania Supreme Court justice that said, you can't do that. And they have to be able to be within, 6 feet because of the COVID.
Right.
So they put up a barrier 6 feet away from where they were working.
Uh-huh.
And then they sent in a crew that took the ballot counting machines and they moved them, the front row, to the back.
Oh, Jesus.
So again, they were like 20 feet away.
Right.
So, okay, here's the logic. What are you fucking hiding here?
Yeah.
All right. And I'll tell you what pisses me off. I understand that every state's got their own deal. Fine. Not a problem. because they're not going to. A federal one is never going to work because the government can't do anything right anyway.
Yeah, right.
So you're going to have state-run stuff. But why hasn't Deputy Dog moved in there and shut down the whole deal and say, this is a federal election also, and
Yes.
until we can investigate, you ain't counting another thing, and you're going to send everybody home, and we're locking this place up.
Yeah, right.
You know, how do you start out with 160,000 votes more than your opponent, and literally at 4 a.m. they find like another 75,000 votes?
Yeah.
And I'm watching stuff, and how come Trump's total is not going up by one single?
It hasn't moved all day. That's right.
How can that possibly be? Mathematically, that can't
It
happen.
can't be. Right. It can't be.
So
It
you're blatantly cheating.
hasn't moved a digit. I noticed that. I'm like, what is it? I'm like,
Blatantly cheating. You know what? I hope the crap that Nancy Pelosi was talking about comes true. I hope that they can't figure out what's going on, and come January, that Trump puts his security team at the White House and doesn't let anybody in.
Nope.
Fuck you. I'm keeping the White House so you can figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
I hope it comes to that.
You know, the other thing
Says, oh, yeah, we'll remove him forcefully if we have to. No way. Secret Service is going to protect him to the end.
Yeah.
That's the end of it. He'll put the National Guard or his own army around the White House, and none of you fuckers are getting in.
The other thing is,
This is a blatant lie. And you know who they're cheating? They're cheating American citizens.
oh, they don't give a shit about us.
This is total bullshit.
I don't care
Look,
about
the guy's an asshole. I understand that. Biden's a fucking puppet. He ain't gonna do jack shit. And this whole thing is a coup d'etat. They're looking to just take over this whole fucking government, run the country, and they don't give a shit about the taxpayer.
Yeah, one way or
I'm
another.
waiting. I want to see the guys that come out and start assassinating people. I want to see the fucking Congress whacked. I don't give a shit. Send the FBI to my house. I ain't the guy doing it. I want to see politically people that are deeply involved in this fucking deep state government. I want to see them wiped out. I want to fucking see the report that says, oh, by the way, George Soros got 6 bullets in his head tonight. I want to see that because I'm done. And you know that there's people out there that believe this is what needs to get done. The Civil War is coming.
Yeah,
There's going to be bloodshed around this whole country.
Charlie Manson would have been proud.
Yep. Ridiculous.
The other thing is, you know, we went to the new voting machines how many years ago? Recently, 10, 15 years. Still, here on Long Island, they're calling in machine, and it was on News 12. Machines are broken. A guy's putting in, it's just a fucking scanner. Guy puts in his thing, and the display, took a picture of the display. It says, paper jam, cannot read.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, these things don't get used that much. You know, they only get used for elections. Like, how many elections do we have? They don't work.
Yeah.
Nobody checked them. I mean, no, they didn't, you know?
It's ridiculous. You know, it's 2020 and the technology is there, and you can't tell me that all the states in this country haven't figured out a safe, easy way to do an election.
We finally hear.
Technology is there. They're not using it. The freaking ballot was like this long.
Yeah, so it's
It was
long.
4 pages. And there I am with my little pen. First of all, because of the COVID, they got the walls up, right?
Yeah.
You go in and you got to give them your information and your license, and the lady's behind the plastic, and she's got an iPad, and then she flips it and she hands you a brand new stylus pen, and you
Right.
get to keep it.
Right.
And then they hand you they print the paper for you with your name and the whole deal on it. And then I had to stand at that stupid table with the cardboard half box. And there I am, like I'm back in junior high, coloring in oval.
Right.
Okay, President Trump.
Outside the line.
Right? Don't
Yeah.
go outside the line. Make sure that you fill in the whole thing. I'm like, what am I, a fucking 5-year-old here? Seriously? You couldn't figure out a way to do this legitimately?
Yeah.
I'm done.
So I see it is different in Florida because here I never have to show ID. You know, up until this year, you tell them who you were, and they find you in the paper thing, your ledger, and they have
Yeah.
like your digital signatures. That you? Yeah, that's me. And you'd sign. This year, they had like an iPad that you'd sign digitally.
That's what I had to do.
And then off you go and do your thing. You know, it's like
Yeah, well, here you got to present your license, which is smart. It should be like that everywhere.
here you don't.
I got to show my license to get on an airplane.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to show my license to vote for the next schmuck that's going to live in the White
You
House.
should. You sure should.
Well, that's common sense, but you know we're dealing with governments, and
Yeah.
governments
No,
don't
right.
have common sense.
Yeah, not here. So
I've been real quiet about this on Facebook. I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to wait for it to happen.
yeah.
You know, I don't know. Oh, let me tell you. I'll tell you what. Something that really pissed me off. Arizona.
Uh-huh.
I was watching the election results, and then all of a sudden, Arizona went blue, and they called it,
Right.
and they said, "Oh, Arizona's going to go to Biden."
Uh-huh.
And when you looked on the screen for Arizona, only 1% of the votes had been tallied,
Yeah,
and they called it.
I know.
And I'm like, who just fucking stuck $6 million in your offshore bank account to do that?
Exactly.
You know, how do you call a state to go to one guy or the other at 1%?
Yeah.
I'm like, I was flipping out. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Is this shit really coming true?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
At 1%, they're going to say, oh, yeah, this one goes to Biden.
Yeah.
Let me
Ridiculous.
tell you something. He needs to have a recount of every single effing state that's a close race or that he lost. And they need to have the right people looking at this stuff, and they need to validate every single ballot. And I want them to check for dead people, people that don't live in the state anymore, the whole deal. And then you're going to find out that he had a landslide win.
Mm. Well,
And
that's
then
the
the next thing they'll do is they'll assassinate his ass.
well, that's the thing. Getting the right people.
They can't get him out by trying to impeach him, trying to collude with Russia. Every single thing they tried don't work.
Right.
So the only thing that they're going to get away with is a bullet. And
Yeah.
that'll be the end of it.
This was the grand plan. So
It's all a grand plan. You
Yeah.
cannot. Maybe I'm one of them psycho fringe guys with the tinfoil hat, but election year comes up. All of a sudden, there's this pandemic that nobody can do anything about.
uh-huh.
Oh, we need to get rid of his awesome, stock market numbers and economy. So let's lock everybody up so we can crash the economy. Let's close down businesses so everybody loses their jobs. Let's let people lose their homes. Let's let people, people that die. Oh, he died of COVID. No, he died with COVID.
Right.
Make that distinction. No way, because they pay big money to the hospitals and big pharma for all of this other bullshit with this COVID. They're sitting on whatever this cure is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been able to cure the flu.
That's right.
Okay. So they're going to cure this brand new flu, because that's all it is. It's a flu. So they've got probably 80% of the people that live in this country thinking that there's going to be some injection you're going to get that's going to be a miracle cure.
That's what they're
Oh
thinking.
my God, the COVID's just going to go away. Now, don't be an asshole. COVID's going to be something that's going to be around here for the next 100 years.
Yeah.
In one form or another. And you're not going to convince me that it wasn't completely created in a lab. And you can't convince me that fuck Fauci didn't have something to do with it.
Remember we just used to have school shootings every week?
Yeah.
Whatever happened with that? It's like
I don't know.
that went away.
Yeah. Gun control.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit going on, but I don't want to be the tinfoil hat guy.
Well, there's theories out there, and you don't know what is right until it proves itself out through history. But there's a lot of theories that could all be valid.
Well, the problem is there's a lot of theories and there's a lot of hearsay and evidence about stuff, but it never goes any further
it doesn't
Then,
get
you know,
brought up.
being announced. What about all of this crap with Hunter Biden?
Right.
Oh, that got real quiet real fast all of a sudden.
Yes, it did.
You know, whatever happened with that deal? Where is Hunter, by the way? That
Yeah.
dude hasn't been seen for months.
Right.
Where's he hiding out?
He's hiding somewhere.
You're going to tell me the FBI doesn't know where that dude is and drag him out?
They ferried him away somewhere. A cave.
Yeah. Who the hell knows? There's just a lot of shit going on. You know, this country's supposed to be the greatest country in the world, and it's turning out to be a really great country to live in, but it's got a lot of shit that's run behind the scenes that's just not good.
You can really see now how other countries can get the impressions they do of us. Because when they see shit like this, like they can't even get an election straight. You
Right.
know? Come on.
This is the other thing that, all right, you got these mail-in votes. Yeah, okay, fine. They decided that this mail-in vote deal was going to be the way that they push him over the line by
Yeah.
constantly saying, well, you got the COVID, you know, be safe, be safe, be safe. Well, why can't they have a law at each state that says, look, that shit's got to be postmarked a couple of days before the election,
Right. Right.
you know? I mean, this mail-in voting's been going on for months. I literally had about 11 of these things show up at my house. And then I start getting stuff not from my actual state government, from corporations.
Really?
You can get a mail-in ballot. And I would get 5 or 6 of these. It's like junk mail
Wow.
saying, oh, just fill this out and you'll get your official presidential mail-in ballot. And I'm like, all of a sudden these companies just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is fraudulent at the least.
Yeah.
And you've had plenty of time to do this mail-in shit. And if you can't get off your ass and put it in the mailbox or go to the post office or go to where they have these official ballot boxes
Mhm.
and drop it off before the election, then guess what? Your fucking vote don't count no more.
Yeah.
Because now you hear that they're tallying up votes in Philly that don't even have a postmark on them. How can that be legitimate?
Yeah. And it's like I said to my wife earlier tonight. I said, so, and who do you go to complain? Who do you go to? There's nobody that there's, you know.
And
Board of
here's the
Elections.
thing that pisses me off the most. When did we give the power to the media to determine who the next president is?
We didn't give them the power. They just
There's no governmental thing going on there, okay? You've got all of these states electronically reporting vote tallies. And then it's the asshole at CNN, the asshole at ABC, the asshole at CBS, the asshole on Fox that says, we're going to give that state to Trump. We're going to give this state to Biden.
right.
Until they get to the total of 270 on the electoral votes. I'm like, well, who gives you the fucking right to do that? When did we hand over that power to pick a president to the media?
It might have been
Which
going
is the
on.
most corrupt organization around.
I was listening to this guy Buck somebody or other on WOR, and he was talking about all the metrics and the math and the percentages behind it. I mean, he lost me in about 3 minutes, but he sounded like he knew what he was talking about, how it all plays in. The guy seemed very knowledgeable about it, but lost me. I don't know. I mean, because it never makes sense what I hear. At least, you know, to me it doesn't. I don't know.
I'm watching this election go by and I'm looking at the stuff scrolling on the bottom.
Yeah.
And literally, like almost every single state, Trump was ahead.
Uh-huh.
Trump's ahead, Trump's ahead, Trump's ahead, Trump's ahead. But then I'm seeing ones where Trump is ahead and the check mark is for Biden.
I saw that too. I'm like, what the
And
hell's
like-
that all about?
I'm like, what's going on here?
Right.
He's got more votes than the geezer does, and he won the state.
Right.
And I'm like, do they change that? Do
I
they
don't
wind
know
up
what they do.
dropping it back? Because I'm sorry, when these guys certify what these votes are, if you're not the guy in the lead, you don't get the state in my world. So, I don't know.
Right.
I don't get it.
I don't know what they do either.
What they're using is all unofficial. Yet they don't tell you that. The media will never tell you, oh, by the way, we're just kind of speculating here.
Yeah. No.
We're playing this little game because we got nothing to do on election night. So we're going to play with our $50,000, interactive map.
It's got to be one of the worst nights in the world because, you just got to wait. There's nothing you could do, but now you have to put out content. So you got to just create something, and that's what they came up with. They came up with all these numbers and the metrics and that all the flim flam and crap. Like you said, it's contradictory. I don't know.
No, I don't know. I think the whole thing's fixed.
Oh, talking about fixed. Let me change gears a little bit. Let me go back to what we were talking about yesterday with my freaking humidifier I was trying to get going and my outlet that I thought was bad because of the GFI. I run it on the other side of the room. I'm plugging it. It still ain't working. I plug a lamp into the thing and it works. The freaking humidifier isn't working anymore.
Oh, God.
That's why the outlet wasn't working that I checked first. It wasn't a GFI. The outlet is fine. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I got to go buy a new humidifier.
That sucks.
That's better than having to go change that GFI. I had them installed outside because I wanted them for Christmas decorations and stuff, but they're right off the concrete patio. So they're only, in the basement where they was above the header, above the footer plate by about a foot or so. But outside with this patio that I have, they're only about a foot off the ground. So I kind of have to lay down to change it. I can't do it. Even on my knees, I'm bending over. So I've been avoiding it for 2 years. Because I don't need it outside. I really didn't need it. But now I know I still don't need it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Crazy. So, man, you're going to have a nice, big, empty garage tomorrow.
No, the other one's coming tomorrow.
I know, but it's good for a little while, for a couple hours.
No, keep it out. No way. I'm not keeping that thing on my driveway. My neighbors will flip. Did I send you pictures of it yet?
I just got one shot on the trailer. Send me some more.
I'll send you some more tomorrow. It's uglier than shit.
Yeah.
And both of the door latches are shot. And you know how the second gen Camaro Firebird, that long outer door handle?
Yeah.
They have a tendency to break.
They snap, yeah.
If you rough with them. Both of these are snapped.
Yeah.
So in order to open the door, you got to use the short little end.
Right.
Because the front part's not flopping in the wind. So the door hinges are shot. You open up the door and it drops, I swear to God, that much.
Whoa.
Yeah, boom. Okay. And then you go to close it.
You got to lift it.
The one on the passenger side absolutely does not latch.
Wow.
So the passenger side door, there's no door panel. There's a 1-inch ratchet strap through the door and then across to the driver's side.
Oh my God.
Wrapped around the roll cage and then ratcheted in.
Beautiful. And
then I was able to get the driver's side to close. And then it opened and I was going around a turn and it actually cleared the fender of the trailer.
Wow.
And then as I was making a left turn, it slammed shut.
Wow.
And it's locked solid.
Yeah, now it's
so
locked.
Like, oh, okay, cool. So it stayed that way for the whole trip. Well, yeah. It needs hinges. It needs work. So
pull those doors off. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll get them. I'll get it in the garage and start cutting stuff out. And I will, before it goes to the body shop, I'll change the hinges or the hinge pins or whatever I got to do.
Yeah.
And the strikers, the latch plate.
Right.
I have that stuff. I'll change that all out so the doors work because my guy's got to hang quarter panels on this thing.
Right.
And he's going to have to, make sure that the doors are where they belong.
Sure.
So the quarter winds up where it belongs because you got to deal with fender door quarter.
Right. Are you going to do a videotape this procedure?
Yeah, I'll be doing some videotape work and
Good.
some things like that. So yeah, I'm excited about getting on this thing, cutting it up, and getting it done quickly. And the wife is like, "You need to get this done fast."
Yeah.
Because you got another one right behind it.
Now you got a project manager.
Well, yeah. So she's like, I don't. Yesterday, I ate dinner and I'm like, all right, I got to go back in the garage because I got some wires I got to tie up. I got to go through all of the boxes and find spare parts that didn't get used, stuff that's got to go back. I said, and kind of clean up everything, put the tools away, the whole deal. So I was out here for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then I walked in, I said, done. And she goes, yeah, 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timekeeper.
She goes, you better get on that other one ASAP and get it done.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 years. Well, my own fault.
She who taketh also give to. She who taketh.
I didn't put the time into this car that I should have from the start.
You really started like when I know that you started. You went gangbusters, but I guess if you did nothing before that, yeah, it's it all stacked up at the end.
When I brought the car here, the mini tubs were in. Yeah, all the metal work underneath and in the frame, that was done.
Yeah.
But nothing else.
Right.
I brought that front frame that went in this car was still raw steel. Wasn't even in the car. I went and had it powder coated. And then I started assembling stuff on that rotisserie.
Right.
So really in 3.5, 4 years almost, all I did was a set of mini tubs.
Wow. Yeah. That was some lean years there.
Yeah, I had things to do. I didn't buckle down on that one.
Right.
This should have been done in less than a year.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? So it's done now and it's out of here.
Yeah. Good.
Bye.
Nice.
Now he's got his stuff to do.
Yeah.
Body work and paint. He's got to put the interior in this thing. He's got to put a sound system in it.
Right.
He's getting new wheels and tires. He's changing the wheels and tires.
Okay.
Got stuff to do. He's got to put an exhaust system in it.
Right.
Have fun with that one. There's not a lot of room under here.
What do you think, when all said and done, what do you think that car is going to be worth just in parts and labor that have gone into it?
This was a parts and labor. This was about a $55,000 build.
On to now.
Without body work.
Well, I'm saying when it's all said and done, when it's after he's done with it, what do you think it's going to?
Well, he owns the body shop, so that'll be material.
Right.
Probably $65,000.
Okay.
By the time he puts the sound system in it and finishes up all the little stuff he's got to do.
Yeah.
That's an expensive Camaro.
Right.
But it's a one-off. There's nothing else like it in the world. Right. It's badass.
I was just talking about that with the guys at the body shop today. We were talking. The one guy's got a 34 Plymouth, and it had been a street rod back in the day in the 70s. And when he built it, he kept the original engine and transmission and rear and all on the side of the garage. And sometime years ago, he decided he wanted to put the car back stock. So he did. And it's been sitting for like 25 years. So now he's slowly working on it again. He says, yeah, I'm glad I kept all the parts. I said to him, that's the interesting thing. I remember when, Barrett Jackson stock was king and there was no resto mod. That's when he used to call cars clones.
Right.
And they were looked at as pariahs. I said, but now, Steve, now even a mildly decent resto mod will pull more money than the same car stock if it's an old enough car. And the reason is you can drive the resto mod and have comfort and reliability where the old flathead, the straight flathead with the gear grind and 3-speed, and who the hell wants to drive that, So we're talking about values, how they've shifted, and then the guys like with the Camaro, you go to such a number where you probably never get that back,
Never.
pennies on a dollar, you know.
He can make this thing as picture perfect as possible and roll it across the line at Barrett Jackson. He'll never get what he put in it.
Right.
Never. It's not happening.
Yeah.
And then the kind of stuff that I build is worthless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Costs a ton of money.
Yeah.
Worthless. On the resale end, no way.
Right.
You're not getting anything. You know, I could dump $50,000 into a pro street car, and I'd be lucky if I could sell it for $15,000.
Wow. Yeah.
It's got to be something that you like.
Right. Right.
You know,
Right.
it's not happening. But I don't build stuff like that to sell it. I
Yeah.
could care less.
Right. Right.
You know, building it for me to play with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, not tooting my own horn, but I build stuff that people appreciate.
Oh yeah, obviously people, yeah, because it's quality. You know, quality will always sell.
I didn't skip no corners on this thing. I made the kid spend the right money in the right places, and then I gave him the right kind of work.
Right. Right.
You know, I'm very detail oriented.
No, yeah, you were very diligent about that. That's impressive that you do that because not everybody does. That's
no, I didn't jip anything anywhere, and I did everything as if it was my own, and that's all. That goes all the way back to days of building cars on Long Island at the chassis shop.
Right.
You know, hand bent, making sure that all the brake lines are concise and perfect, and that kind of stuff takes time.
Yeah, there's your reputation.
That pre-bent stuff.
That's what builds your reputation.
Yeah.
You know?
When I do brake lines, steel braided hoses, Teflon steel braid hoses from the calipers to the frame, and I weld the mount on, and there's a bulkhead fitting, whether it's a straight bulkhead, a 90 or a T, depending on what you got to do, and that gets mounted. And then you use a good roll of stainless steel brake line, and you unroll it, and you cut your basic piece, and then you start kinking.
Right.
I have a tool that I got, oh my God, in the 80s from Mike Thermos when he owned NOS, Nitrous Oxide Systems.
Uh-huh.
And let me see if I can find it here. Right there.
Okay.
See that?
Right, yeah. Bender, yeah.
It's made for 3/16 line.
Uh-huh.
It's got 2 places to put the anvil.
Yeah.
A wide bend, a tight bend.
Right.
And this is what I use to bend brake lines.
Yeah.
This thing is awesome.
I have one like that.
Except bases, and it works so well.
The one I have like that, it's a pair of handles that'll open up.
I have the one with the handles,
which is very similar in design. You know what else is nice? Lyle makes them. It's a pair of pliers, looks like needle nose pliers, but
I have
on the
those.
end, right?
Yeah.
Again, you
I
can
have
make
all that stuff.
you can make a tighter bend with those than you can with any bender.
Yeah.
They have
I
great
have
plastic on
I
the
have
head.
a whole bunch of stuff for bending too.
Yeah, I got a drawer full of stuff. Yeah, you kind of accumulate that stuff.
So I hand bend all of that, and then I have the because I use all AN stuff.
Yeah.
So I have a 37-degree flare
Right.
tool.
The next thing that I've been wanting to buy and I haven't done it is the pneumatic bender.
Yeah.
Eastwood sells one. There's a couple places to sell it, but like that's on my wish list. It's like $300, and I'm not doing I mean, I was doing a lot of brake lines for a while there, and now I'm not. So it's like, yeah, another one of those tools where it's nice to have, but it's going to sit.
Yeah.
But
That's good stuff.
I'd rather look for my big heavy ride symbol.
There you go.
That's
I should send you my Earth ride.
That's kind of like what I'm looking for. I like a nice. I remembered now as we've been talking. Back in the day, I had a big. It had to be like at least a 24.
I got all kinds of
26. It was a big, heavy ride.
stuff. Yeah.
You could just play that thing so quiet if you wanted to, But like if you smashed it, it had a really cool intonation to it when you give it a real smash. Look at that beauty.
22 inches of beast.
Yeah, that is.
That is.
Ah, shit, that's great.
Oh, wait a second. There's two of them here.
I was gonna say, it looked pretty thick.
Yeah.
You got two of them.
22s.
Those aren't two of the same symbol, are they?
No. I don't have any drumsticks here.
Yeah,
But you can see this thing's been around the world.
it looks like it. Yeah.
22 Earth Ride. Look at
Yeah.
Look at the bottom.
What's the other one that you have over there?
This one here, this is a custom symbol. This is
Uh-huh.
a limited edition.
Is it?
Sound Lab prototype.
Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got dimples in it. It's dimpled.
It's dimpled and turned.
Right.
This is a really cool symbol.
It's brighter. I can hear it's brighter already. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got this at Zildjian did a show at my local drum shop,
Oh, cool.
and I got real friendly with the Zildjian rep.
Uh-huh.
He's also the DW rep,
Oh wow.
and he's a drummer, and the reps get limited amounts of these prototype cymbals.
Right.
And what they do is they want people to use them to see if it's going to be something that goes into production.
Right.
And then once it goes into production, then they'll name it if it's a custom, whatever.
Right. Right.
So this is it's a heavy ride, and it's got a really nice wash to it.
Yeah.
So it's a good cymbal.
Yeah.
I like it. So I got that, and I think I only paid like $100 for it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really good. But let me I want to measure, see how thick this thing is. Hold on a sec. Let me get my mic. I probably should be using a ball mic on it.
Yeah.
But this thing's thick. $86,000.
Jeez, that is thick. That's thick.
Yeah. 86.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
It weighs a ton.
I mean, you look at some of the
Oh,
crashes. Some of the crashes are only like 30 thou.
Yeah.
Real crisp, sharp.
This
Fight.
thing, it's got so much weight that it's hard for me to hold it up on one arm.
I also had one like that. It wasn't an earth ride, but it was a heavy ride that had the rivets in it.
I love a ride with rivets.
The sizzle, yeah.
I want to get a ride or drill them and put the rivets in.
I let that one go too. I should have never done it, but
I got a whole stack of cymbals that are not in my cymbal vault.
yeah.
There's about 12 cymbals sitting here on the shelf.
Wow.
All Zildjians. And
Yeah.
then there's a couple of Wuhan Chinas.
Yeah. Some people like those. No, I know. I watch a lot of the videos I watch. Some of the people like the Wuhans. They like the sound.
They're so trashy
Yeah.
and they're so cheap.
I mean, I'm watching videos of guys who are playing like with a chunk out of the end of the cymbal. And again, just to give it like this, it's got a unique
It's
sound.
like a weird vibration kind of noise.
You know, it's probably a one-off sound because there's no other one like it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's funny. There's quite a few of my cymbals that are not in the vault that are sitting up there.
I found this other girl now who's playing. She's Russian, small little girl, playing a weird looking kit. It's I don't know what kind of drums they are, but our hi-hat cymbals and one of her crashes are black.
Wow.
Black cymbals, yeah.
I've never seen that before.
It must be Russian. I don't know.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
I kind of miss my Italian import set.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
should have never sold that. The Miyazi kit.
Uh-huh.
That company's. I don't know if they're. I don't even know if they're around anymore.
Why'd you sell the kit?
I bought 10-inch slicks and Krager Super Tricks
Okay.
for the Firebird.
All right.
Sold them. I sold them to the kid. I was working at a bar in Comac, which was owned by the oh my god, the OBI group.
Okay.
And it was
Bob
called
Matheson.
it was called Baby Huey's. Yeah, Bob Matheson. And the club
Baby
was called
sounds familiar.
Baby Huey's. It was in Comac.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. And the kid that was the bar back that washed the dishes and brought the ice and everything,
Yeah.
his family owned the funeral home in Comac.
Oh yeah.
Comac Funeral Home. And he had a cheap like China drum set. What was that? CB?
Yeah.
That company CB. And he was looking for something better. And I was messing around with the car and I'm like, okay, I'll sell you my drum set. So like a fool, I sold him my drum set for I think it was about $1,000 or so.
Uh-huh.
I gave him my Zildjians, my A Zildjians and
Wow.
Speed King pedals.
Yeah.
Because it was a whole kit. It was double bass, two rack toms, 2 floor toms, Ludwig snare.
Yeah.
Also the wood snare that came with the kit, and like 4 or 5 Zildjians, and a set of New Beat hi-hats, 13-inch New Beat hi-hats,
Yeah.
some sticks, the whole deal, and I took all that money and bought speed parts.
Yeah.
Krager SSTs, Goodyear slicks, some other stuff. I don't know, a Holly carburetor or something. I forget.
Yeah.
And I didn't look back, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I was out of high school for a few years. The band had broken up. Everybody had gone their own way.
Right.
And the drum set just kind of sat there. I didn't do anything with it,
Yeah.
So I was like, let it go.
Right.
But I don't know. That thing would probably be worth a bunch of money now.
Oh yeah.
That was like the first set of acoustic electric drums I've ever found out about.
Okay.
It had these pressure mics that mounted underneath the head.
Right.
It was, like a diaphragm.
Yeah.
It was a rubber puck, and it had an aluminum like pedestal.
Yeah.
That went down into a coil, and it mounted inside the drum, and then out of the vent hole, they had like a guitar cable.
Right.
It came out of the vent hole, and then there was a box that you could adjust the tone and volume of each drum.
Wow.
And then from there, you plug it into either into the PA or into a bass amp.
Right.
They did not sound like drums when you plugged them in. They sounded like Simmons
Yeah.
pads.
Yeah.
This drum set was out before Simmons had its pads out.
Oh wow.
But it had that whoop, whoop, whoop kind of a noise,
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Really weird. So when we would play, we'd run a line to the PA.
Uh-huh.
And then during my drum solo, I would start to play lighter on the drums to reduce the volume. And the guy that was running our front of house stuff, he'd bring up the drums. So there I was, literally in the mid to early 70s, doing drum solo with electronic drums.
Yeah, that's unheard of. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the only drum set I had ever heard of that had
Right.
these transducers in it, and it made that Simmons electronic pad sound.
Yeah.
And then years later, all of a sudden Simmons came out with pads.
Right.
So I was like, wow, I was ahead of the curve.
I'll say. Yeah.
Pretty cool. And it had a really nice finish.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well.
Long gone.
Yeah.
I don't know where it went. You know, it was weird. Trying to think. One of the double albums from Queen. When you open it up, there was a huge collage inside.
Mm-hmm.
All of these like candid photos of the members of the band and some like concert shots and stuff.
Yeah.
And the drummer from Queen for a while played that exact same setup.
No fooling.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was really strange because like years later I happened to get that album. And I took a look at him like, holy shit, look at this. He's playing a Miyagi double bass kit.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, wow. I thought that was really, really cool.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Never knew anybody else that played them.
I'll have to check my albums.
Yeah, take a look. I know for it's a double album, and there's a whole bunch of candid photos inside when you open it up. I don't know. Did they do a live album?
There is Queen Live. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah,
But I know for a fact it's an album you open up.
Right.
It may not be a double vinyl, but it's an album that opens up.
Yeah, yeah. Bifold, yeah.
So I don't think it's Night at the Opera.
No.
That was a black album, right? Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm not sure which one it is. I'd have to Google.
No, Night at the Opera is a white cover.
It's
Dave
white,
Race
right?
is black.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. But yeah, in there is a picture of, I forget the drummer's name.
Let's see. Taylor, May. Yeah, why do I blank out myself?
I don't know.
Roger Taylor played guitar. Brian May. No, Taylor's the bass player. May was a guitarist.
Yeah, yeah.
Blonde guy. He's blonde. Blonde head.
Hold on a second. We'll ask Siri.
Yeah.
Who's the drummer from Queen?
Roger Taylor.
Roger Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah.
All right. Taylor isn't the bass
Yep.
player.
Well, he's an old sucker. 1949.
Wow.
Wow, right. Jeez.
Got us by 9 years.
Geezer.
That's Black Sabbath. That was that video I sent. It was Tony Iommi. It was the guy. I still can't remember his name. What the fuck? It's a big guitar guy, but he was playing one of the riffs off of Sabbath's fourth album, one of the Iommi riffs, and he had a guy there that had the same guitar, the replica guitar that Iommi played. So playing it different, with three different guitars through this Laney head. And they really, these guys nailed it. They're good musicians, very good musicians.
That's cool.
But yeah. Yeah,
This is the cleanest my garage has been. I put everything away.
nice. Good. Start fresh.
I got my tables all clean. Got the
Nice.
shelves all packed up nice and neat. All those coffee jugs that I had all these bolts in.
Yeah.
I ran through some of the stuff I tossed, some of the stuff I kept. I may need some of those stock bolts to
Right.
do some stuff on these projects.
Yeah, you got to reset. You got to clean up in between. You can't keep stuff messy. There's no way.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm definitely moving into a larger shop.
Oh, good. You got to take that end unit.
Yeah. I gave the landlord a bid on how much I want to pay,
Right.
and he was like, "Oh, come on, dude." I said, "This is what my finances say I can dump."
Right.
And he's like, "All right." So I'm getting it for a good deal.
Good. Good.
And then my wife, Ever, the accountant, she's like, "Okay, so you're going to be paying more for rent." She goes, "Well, what are you paying now for the storage unit that you got a bunch of junk in?"
Ah.
was like
Okay.
$100. $100
right.
a month. She goes, okay. So boom, there's $100 that you're not paying.
Empty that.
She
Bring the stuff.
goes,
Yeah.
what about that van that you have sitting out there that needs a motor?
Ah.
She goes, you're still paying a note on that. What are you paying? I said, $249 a month. She goes, okay, $250. So there's $350. She goes, you're paying $0. She goes, go to the bank, take the money out of the account, and pay off the van. She said, instead of continuing to pay, she goes, just go pay it. You owe $1,200 on it.
Oh, okay.
She said, instead of making another, 5, 6, 7 payments, she goes, just pay for it. Done.
Yeah.
She goes, and then send it out and have the motor fixed. She says, that's just a mechanical expense. That's not a big deal. And I'm like, no, you're right. The guy said he'd do it for $1,600. So she goes, then hire somebody to drive it so you can just play with your cars.
I was gonna say, how'd you end up with a van that you owe money on that needs a motor?
Because the motor took a dump.
That sucks.
And- yeah, I know. Well, it's not a new van. It was a used van.
Yeah.
And I got it for a good price, but I took out a small little loan through the company.
Yeah.
And that was it. And it's automatic. They deduct it out of the account every month.
Right.
It blew a head gasket. Really what it did is it blew a head gasket. It doesn't, I don't need a motor, but
All
I got a guy that'll get me a good motor, low mileage out of the junkyard, and he'll swap it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, just do that instead of, you know what it's like to pull a head on a fan? It's hard.
Yeah.
It's terrible work. It's easier to take the nose off,
Yeah.
slide the motor out, bolt the transmission on, and slide it back in, hook up
Yeah.
the wires.
I agree.
Yeah. So that'll basically pay for the shop.
Nice.
Done deal. So the only thing is those buildings, like the building I'm in, they're concrete block, and it's got truss roof.
Yeah.
And it's got a metal roof over the plywood. They're hot. There's no insulation in these places at all.
Right.
So they're terrible. So I paid a guy to come in and literally put a ceiling in there
Yeah.
to try and kind of seal it, but we didn't put any insulation above the ceiling
Uh-huh.
up in the rafter area. So consequently, my shop is like ridiculously hot and sweaty in the summertime, especially with all these aquariums running.
Yeah.
Constantly, you got that moisture in the air.
Sure.
I have one of those like 48-inch fans. There's a big giant air mover fan attached to the wall with the louvers that open up,
Right.
but the motor took a dump.
Oh.
So it was more of a pain in the ass to get a motor to replace it. It's a fan belt drive and
Right.
the whole deal. So I unbolted it from the wall. I left the louvers and I went to Lowe's, and for like $250, I bought this giant fan on wheels.
Oh yeah.
It's a floor one, but it's
I know the one.
it's like 40 inches or something.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah.
We hoisted it up onto above the office and slammed it against the louvers
Uh-huh.
and ran an extension cord and plugged it in, and it runs from probably March all the way through to last week
Wow.
every year.
Yeah.
And it never shuts off. We don't shut it off. We leave it running 24/7,
Yeah.
So it moves so much air that if you open up the front door to the shop, and the door has a tendency to want to kind of not close all the way, but it comes back like 3/4 of the way on its own.
Uh-huh.
This thing, if you've got the shop door closed and the man door is open, it literally sucks the door shut.
That's cool.
That's how much air. If you go by the door, when you open up the door, your hair goes back.
Yeah.
This thing moves so much air, but you're moving hot Florida air
Right.
through the building. So now this unit I'm moving into is also all wide open. There is no ceiling. You're looking at the rafters. So it's going to be insanely hot in there.
Yeah.
Hot. And then in the wintertime, it'll cool off. But so I said to Barb, I'm like, oh yeah, the only thing that's going to stink is, I'm not in climate control. I said, yeah, I'll have a lot of room to do a bunch of stuff. I said, but I'll be sweating my ass off, trying to build a car there.
Right.
She goes, well, why don't you take the other bird? She goes, and just dump it there.
Uh-huh.
She says, you won't have the storage unit.
Right.
She says, if you pull this one out of here and just dump it over there as dead storage, along with parts in the whole 9 yards, she says, then you would have the whole garage, which is air conditioned and lit really well, and your home. So you can eat, you can walk right back outside. You'll have room to spread out your machinery and do what you got to do. She said, wouldn't that be a better way to build the next car? And I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
What the hell? Because it's a sum zero in terms of what I'm laying out.
Right.
To have that larger building.
Yeah.
So I'll build here and I'll store there.
Sure.
And when the first one's done, that'll be the place that I park it.
Right.
While I'm working here on the second one.
Makes sense.
So if I come across a boatload of money, I'll have the place insulated and put up a ceiling nicely, and then I'll central AC it.
Right.
I'll have a big air-conditioned workshop. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but until then, you got Plan B, so that's good.
Yeah. So I don't mind working here, and if I had the room of not having another vehicle in here, that opens up a lot of space.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm going to wind up doing.
Cool. Very good.
And it'll be here tomorrow.
Nice.
And then sometime in December, I'll have that other shop.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking about doing is, like I did with this thing, I'll drag the rotisserie out, pull the nose off the other car, because I'm selling that nose. I don't know if anybody's going to buy it, but
yeah,
I'll advertise it, take some pictures. Maybe somebody wants it. That'll shorten the car up, put it on the rotisserie, and flip it sideways.
Yeah.
So now it's not taking up a lot of space at all.
Right.
That'll give me room to work. Because when this thing was on the rotisserie and the bird was sitting there was plenty of room to walk around.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a pleasure.
What's the footprint of the garage? How big is it?
It's like 35 wide, maybe a little more, 36 wide by like 26 deep.
That's nice. It's a nice size.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. But, along the back, I've got storage shelves and the welder and a workbench.
Yeah.
That takes up 3 feet.
Right.
So when you pull something like a Camaro or a Firebird in there that's 16 feet long, you're like up against the door, pretty close, like within a foot of the door.
Right.
And then you got a couple of feet to walk behind it.
Right.
It gets tight real fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't make garages big unless you got a custom house.
Right. Right.
And even then, they don't want to make the garage big.
Yeah.
No. You're better off buying a piece of property.
And putting one up freestanding. Yeah.
That's it. Put a shop up how you want it.
Yeah.
My buddy just did that. He bought like 3 or 4 acres, a couple towns over. Big house. It's all horse farms over there.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's got horses, So everybody's got all fenced in with stables and stuff. So he put up, it's like 60, I think it's 60 wide by 80 long.
Uh-huh.
That's a big shop,
Right. That is big.
That's nice. Concrete slab, metal building,
Yeah.
insulated, air conditioned, heated, the whole deal.
You need a scooter to get to the other side.
Yeah. He'll fill it up. He's a car junkie. He'll fill it up.
Yeah. Cool.
LED lighting,
Nice.
all the nice stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a customer. Well, new customer. Got a customer that's got a big mansion on the lake. He's actually a senator, and he sold the house to a friend of his, and they tore the house apart.
Really?
Yeah, my guy Brad was there today. They knocked down walls. They tore up all of the flooring, the whole deal. And this big house. I mean, this house is like 7,000 square foot house. The owner says, "Well, we're gonna put some money in it, and make it our own, because me and the wife are gonna be here for a while." He owns a couple of restaurants.
Okay.
And one of the chains that he owns, it's multiple restaurants. It's called Bubbacues.
Okay.
Really good barbecue place. So I'll be real friendly with him. They want a cylinder aquarium.
Okay.
So that's going to be a real nice deal, because those cylinders are not cheap at all. They cost me a lot of money. They're made by Reynolds Polymer.
Right.
So you basically buy a tube, and you cut it down to whatever height you want.
Yeah.
They come in various diameters. So he's going to want one of those, all customized, the whole deal. That should be a lot of fun to take care of.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But he's in. My guy went over there today, and he's given the fish tank that's already there, which is about, I think it's like 280 gallons. It's a pretty big tank. He's given it to one of the guys that's doing the construction work there. So all we had to do was go drain it, pull the fish out, and just leave it empty. Yeah. And they're going to disconnect everything and get it out of the wall. It sits in a wall. You can see it from two sides.
Right.
They took all the sheetrock off around both sides, so it's just studs. Right. And they're actually knocking that whole wall out of the house. So one of the construction guys is going to take that, and he'll get it set up. He'll build the stand and get it set up on it, and then he wants us to come get it running.
Right.
So that'll be a whole nother customer.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah. So that's good.
That's good. All right. I'm going to go and collapse.
Yeah. I'm going to hit the highway too. I got to get up in the morning.
If you're available Sunday, let me know and I'll send you the link.
Oh yeah.
Look with us.
All right. I'll be around.
All right.
Yeah, no problem. Because I'll probably want to start taking that turd apart.
Well, there is the boat issue, you know.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, there's a storm.
Right.
There's a storm coming up. It's supposed to come across Cuba.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, that it was
somewhere. Where I was down south today, there was already bands of rain.
Oh yeah.
So it's supposed to work its way up, but
right.
We were watching the weather, and believe it or not, the Hillsborough Bay, where we usually boat, was like 11 degrees cooler than the Gulf of Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah. The Gulf was still like in the 80s. The Bay was like 74 or 75.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? For some reason, the Bay got ice cold.
Wow.
Like, oh, man. And it was like a 2-foot chop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So they don't know what's going to happen with this storm. It's like they say it's going to hit Cuba and make a 90-degree turn.
Okay.
That's what the model says. And it's either going to skirt towards Texas or it's going to hook again and come up the West Coast.
Right.
So we'll see what it does.
Yeah.
But I definitely got to get back out on the boat anyway. This is the last month that I keep it at the marina.
Yeah.
So I gotta schedule winterizing, tune up, and then I gotta call my detail guy and have him come and wax the whole boat and make it look all nice and pretty, and then put the cover over it.
Right.
Leave it till springtime.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, last year we were out New Year's Day.
Oh, nice.
We just trailered it down to the ramp.
Yeah,
and just dropped it in the water and went out on New Year's Day.
that's cool.
So, I mean, it's something you could do when you live in Florida,
I guess so.
We usually drop it off at the marina probably around beginning of March.
Uh huh.
Start using it regularly from March to like November.
Yeah,
That's cool.
nice.
All right. No sweat.
All right.
Yeah,
John.
send me the link. I'll talk to you over the weekend. I'll send you photos.
All right, good.
All right, you got it.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you later.
All right. All right. Boing.